Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, extra goodness, this is a replay. I just predicted that you would be here. And that simultaneously, when you made that comment, I would also be commenting. That's how skilled I am. Retard. What's going on? I'm nursing a pretty bad hangover, but I was nursing a pretty bad hangover the first debate. Andrew has drinking problems. Well, my problem is I don't drink enough. If I drank enough, I would never get hangovers. You see how that works? That's the problem. That's the issue. So, yeah. Ultimately, though, I don't care because I in no way, shape, or form take this guy seriously. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about basically anything ever. So, I don't actually care very much. I don't think that if I was in a coma that I could lose a debate to this guy, to be honest with you. Don't even think it's possible. Yeah, I don't know. I think he's supposed to be hosting it. I just haven't heard anything. I haven't gotten a link from him or anything. I haven't gotten a leak yet. So I don't know. Are you nervous? Do I look nervous? Yes, I'm very nervous. I don't know what I'm going to do with such vicious arguments as, what about the virgin birth? And there was a talking donkey in the Bible. With such high-tier argumentation, I don't know how I'll ever be able to defend my worldview. I don't know. Such high-tier opponents, high-tier arguments. I don't know how I'm going to be able to keep up, but somehow I feel like I'll be able to keep up. Somehow I think we'll be okay. He's got your number, bro. That's funny. Gary might bring it tonight, Andrew. You never know. He's not going to bring shit, bro. He's dumb as fucking shit, dude. He's not going to bring nothing. The thing is like, it doesn't really matter because when you're that fucking stupid, I don't really need to do that much. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's not There's not really much I need to do. He doesn't know the laws of logic. He doesn't understand arguments. He's just going to basically whine and then talk shit about my wife. That's that. Like, here's Gary's entire debate plan. You ready? Christianity's fake because of a virgin birth and a talking donkey, and your wife bad because she divorced, have kids, and you stepdad. That's going to be the entire debate. Guarantee it. Whole fucking debate wrapped up for you. If you skip the whole thing, I can assure you that that's what the debate would be. Let's see if Myron sent me a link yet. If you win, I'll pay you $30. You might as well just pay the $30, dude. Much love from the greatest of all states, Texas. I love watching you make snake yogurt. Going full baboon mode. Yeah, that was funny. Mr. Gary Numbers guy might take off his sunglasses he wears indoors. I don't know what I would do then. That one would be rough. Oh, yeah, I smoke. And also occasionally I have some drinks. So if you occasionally have drinks, you're drunk. You know, that's how that works. Apparently. You don't drink for 3 months on stream. You drink one time on stream. Now you're drunk. That's just how it works on the internet. Where was God during the Third Dynasty? Yes, it's these questions. I've had my thoughts and prayers with you and your family. Hope Gary's one of these guys who's like, I predict bad things are going to happen to you this year. And you go, why? And he go, because I'm going to try to make bad things happen to you this year. That's Gary in a nutshell. Gary in a nutshell, he's like, I predict there's going to be a fire. And they're like, how do you know? He's like, well, because I'm going to go start it. That's Gary, basically. You were excellent on Peers. Can't wait to listen to you turn Gary inside out again. LOL. Hi to Rachel. My husband makes fun of my girl crush on you. So yeah, I'm just waiting for a link. Just double check. Let's say Myron. Yeah, it's supposed to be 8 p.m. Friday. It's 8 p.m. Friday. I don't know. I don't know where Myron is exactly. Yeah, I guess I could. Right now, I'm just waiting for a link, so. What's my favorite beer? I like piss water beer, honestly. I prefer piss water beer. Oh. Myron setting up. Okay. We'll get it figured out. I don't like Bud Light. I never did like Bud Light. I was always more of a Miller fan. Not that Bud Light tastes bad, but you know, once it became the official beer of the Zers, a lot of us backed off, right? Yeah, they will plumb for sure. Gary's secret weapon in debate is to basically just the number 11. So please be careful. Yeah, well, he's gonna number 11 me to death. So no, the entire debate's just gonna be this: weak opposition to an adversarialism towards Christianity, followed by ha ha ha, you're a stepdad, followed by your wife bad, Ha ha ha. I married a virgin I bought on the internet. Ha ha ha. That's the whole debate. Andrew, fear Gary's loss of logic. Yeah, the law of supply and demand. Yes. I fear the law of supply and demand. What are my pronouns? I'm and right. I'm right. Those are my pronouns. I'm right. I'm correct. Myron's channel says 8:30. Well, then I guess we're doing it at 8:30. Give me some time to get a cup of coffee in me here. Wake the fuck up so I can wreck this idiot. Seems you've been using numerology to predict the way Gary will debate. Yeah, it seems that way, huh? Oh, where'd you get the channel name from? The Crucible? Does that seem like it's something super uncommon to you? It's from a very famous book, which was a play called The Crucible. It's about witch hunting. I thought it was very appropriate. Okay, I'm getting a Zoom link now. Getting a Zoom link. Oh, we'll do this real quick. Boom, 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 boom. 1 second here, guys. We'll go over to the link. Oh, wake the fuck up. Is this a very serious debate with a very dangerous adversary? It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Don't know how to do it. For such a big numbers guy, he sure sucks at reading the time. Yeah, I saw that the Daily. I figured at some point the Daily Wire would start coming for me. Them and TPUSA. So, kind of knew that was happening. Knew that was coming. I have no idea why they keep bringing the. I don't even get it. Like, this chick she disappeared, and it's like just let her disappear. People keep bringing this chick back up. They just like constantly want to bring this fucking person back up over and over and over. I'm just like, dude, who gives a shit? Wasn't very nice when you said she was a former prostitute, Andrew. You called her by her sin. Fucking bunch of butthurt fuckers, dude. Oh, they're fucking mad because my live viewership is bigger than basically all of theirs individually, except I think maybe Ben Shapiro and maybe Matt Walsh. I don't know. You know what I mean? And we're growing and growing and growing, and eventually they're just going to have to contend with the ideas, and I think that they would prefer to just kind of try to knock me out before they actually have to compete. You know what I mean? That's my guess. That's my guess. Could be wrong, of course. After this debate, can a Coom tune be created for Gary? Yeah. But here's what's going to happen in this debate. I'll just give you the like play-by-play. Talking donkey, virgin birth, ha ha ha, ha ha ha, ha ha ha. Your wife is ABCD, ha ha ha, ha 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 ha. No good arguments. Gets blown out. Afterwards, he tries to get my attention on Twitter for the next 3 years. Basically, that's what this debate's going to be. All right. Join the call here. Well, there's not much to win. There's not this guy doesn't do arguments. It's just going to be incredulity. Like, how would a donkey talk? It's like, well, the supreme architect of the universe made numbers to make him talk, stupid. Was gone for 3 months, didn't realize my membership PayPal was canceled. Can't resubscribe on the website. Contact Mr. E. He'll give you a new email, and then you can resubscribe over there. A lot of new subscribers now. Yeah, the most sexy voice on TikTok, baby. Rated over and over and over again. Hang on. I'm in the studio now. I'm just waiting. Hang tight. Yeah, smoothest voice on TikTok, baby. What's the premiere? Well, I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. What's the premiere for what? Makes sense, man. Makes sense. Make it easy for me today, okay? I've got a hangover. I don't want to deal with chat shit today. You know? I don't want to deal with chat's fucking shit today. I'm going to be dealing with some fucking retard on the internet, so. Yeah, what's the premiere? You notice how I didn't say premiere because it's not a fucking premiere? These people. It's a live stream. I just went live a little bit earlier. Or a little bit early. That's all. I haven't done any prep for this debate. I completely underestimate my opponent because I think it would be impossible to overestimate him. That's why. I think it would be impossible to overestimate Gary, the numbers guy. Yeah, I am hearing the dog a little bit here. A little bit. Yeah, they keep really wanting to push this that I have black stepkids thing. That's that's a new one. Well, it's not that new. I've heard that one before, but you know. Just waiting for them, guys. I'm in the studio. I'm just waiting. Well, yeah, you have a black ex-wife. I hear that. That's what I hear. Doesn't matter if it's true. I do hear that it is true, though. Why does the raise of your stepkids matter? Answer: it doesn't. I just don't. Just the pushing of it though is really weird. It's like what? Just like what's the point of that? I don't even understand it. Don't even understand it. Yeah, a lot of people want to seem to want to push that. I guess I haven't exactly hurt the accusation because I lean into it because I think it's really funny. I just objectively think it's funny. They just see a name and they're like, "That sounds black, so therefore black." I just think that that's really funny. I just think it's funny. What do you want me to say? I think it is. Yeah, if you have a black ex-wife, doesn't matter if it is true. It just matters if someone believes it's true. Right. Yeah, I heard about the plane crash, of course. It's fucking god awful. I wonder how come Gary didn't predict it. How come he didn't predict the plane crash? I don't know. I think Gary could benefit from the Debate University course ran by a guy named Andrew Wilson. I spent money. Will recommend. Good idea. Favorite Trump executive order thus far is by far. Well, I don't. Was this even an executive order? I'll have to look and see if it was. But I like the official policy change to 2 genders. That's my favorite. Yeah, Gary didn't predict it. How come he didn't predict the plane crash? Really weird. Oh yeah, he said he did. That's cool. I mean, he always says he predicted everything after it happens. Yeah, he predicted it. Uh huh. Oh, well, I'm glad you liked it. As you can see, I'm suffering a hangover anathema from the debate last night. I had to try my hardest to lower my IQ enough so that I could keep up with Will. He was really running me around in that debate, man. I tried to kind of even the playing field a little bit. But seems that all the Irish medicine does for me is make me still correct. I just slur a lot while I'm correct. You know, doesn't even properly lower the IQ. Any word in the Michael Knowles debate? That shit ain't gonna happen. Don't be fucking dumb, dude. They ain't gonna do it. Are you shocked at the Coomer Gremlins' behavior? No. I don't know anybody shocked. Yeah, I got into the creature a little bit too much last night. Yeah, it was good for Will. He needed to learn. He needed to learn him a little bit on that. I don't think cigarettes lower your IQ. Just like lower your time on planet Earth. They might be an IQ test, but I'm not sure they lower your IQ. What am I drinking? Coffee. Mostly coffee. Licking your wounds? Yeah, I guess. I guess that's the right way to put it. What are the chances? What? You're 41 now. I'll say alcohol was better alternative than the traumatic brain injury necessary to match IQ. I think that's fair. Like their fools last night in the timeline invasion, saying that they predict. Yeah, I know. Shit, just shut up. They're full of shit. I feel like shit. Way too hungover for this, but I'm still gonna win. I'm still gonna win. Have I ever been depressed? Yeah, every winter I get a little tiny bit of like seasonal sad or whatever, like the seasonal depression. It's not real bad though for me. You know, I just kind of get like the lazies and don't really want to do shit. So I don't know if you'd call that like real depression or whatever. You know what I mean? I get a little bit down when I don't see the sun for weeks and weeks. Hope everyone watches the Piers Morgan interview of Tucker Carlson. Okay. You drink coffee black? I do. I like my coffee like I like my ex-wives. Well, I was supposed to start at 8. I'm in the studio waiting right now, so.
Andrew, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What's going on, man?
What's up?
All right, we got Gary here in the studio as well.
I can't see anything from my end from you guys.
Oh, he can't see anything.
He can't see anything. Let's fix that.
Oh, not yet, huh?
Because it's either Zoom or OBS. So if he sees us, the stream won't. If the stream sees us, he won't through Zoom directly.
So he can't even see who's debating?
If he can't, the stream won't.
Oh, okay. Use your imagination, Pimp.
Weren't we able to, I was able to see everybody last time.
I don't
You
know.
want me to do it like that?
I'm definitely not the technical guy here.
Bills could do it. Bills.
Yeah, if you want me to do it like that, I got
The
the
H3 special.
Hey. All right, give me 1 second. I got you right now.
Okay.
Frank, come on.
There we go.
You see us now?
Oh, I said there we go. I can see you guys.
Awesome. Yeah.
It's gonna be tricky.
How you been, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not bad for a slow Friday.
Is it a slow Friday?
It's all right. It's all right. Damn. This is gonna be crazy, man. I don't want to be here, bro. Y'all niggas about to fight.
Good content.
Bad.
I think Andrew's already live.
Oh.
Yeah.
Andrew, are you live right now?
That's why.
Yeah. How crazy can a debate about Christianity be?
I think wild
I know.
because he's live.
All right.
What's up, Andrew?
Hey, what's going on, Myron? How you doing?
Chilling, man. I know you're live right now, so I told them that you're live, so you don't, so we watch our language.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that.
Now, I'm not going to do mine because if I do my stream, I'm going to get like $5,000 worth of donations worth of readings, and it's going to derail the whole show.
Oh yeah.
So we can't do that.
Yeah. Okay. So how do you guys want to do this? Because I noticed last time, when we don't do time rounds, it could get crazy. So,
Let's do opening. People make opening,
Of
closing
course.
statements.
Yep.
And you just let it go for a little bit until you think it's a little bit too much, and then you settle us down.
I'd be fine with. I'm fine with time.
I like an open dialogue back and forth where instead of someone makes a 30-minute statement, we're not running for governor here.
yeah, I know that.
I'm
but
fine. I'm fine in my room with timed rounds.
You're fine. Okay. So how long do you guys want for your opening statement where you state your position? 3 minutes, 5 minutes? I can do 5 if you guys want, right?
3 minutes is fine.
Three?
Yeah, they don't need to be very long.
Okay, so 3 minutes for
But
opening
I
statement.
want some active back and forth here, not just like
Well-
someone makes a statement for 5 minutes, I go for 5, he goes for 5. Let's have a little banner back and forth, man.
All right. Well, for the first one though, at least, so that you guys can both stay your position clearly without being interrupted, we'll do the opening statements, no
Correct.
interruptions. We'll do. How does 4 minutes sound? Is that fair?
I think
Is that good for both
yeah,
of you?
That's fine, whatever.
I'll put 4 minutes on the clock, so you guys each can give your position, and then for the first 2 rounds, we'll have an open dialogue, and I'll put 3 minutes on a clock or 4 minutes on the clock, open dialogue, and then if it gets too crazy, then I'm just gonna make it time rounds. Is
And
that
then
fair?
we can go to Bills right after opening statements because of what we talked about before.
Oh yeah, you want to play that
Yep,
video, right?
of course.
Do you want to play that? You want to play that during your opening statement, right?
Yeah, of course.
Is that cool with you, Andrew? That he has a video that he wants to play? It's what, like a minute?
Yeah, about a minute.
Is that cool if he plays a minute of his video
Yeah, that's fine.
with you? Okay.
Andrew, do you have anything that you want to play on the air?
No.
To substantiate your position or anything? Okay.
Cool.
All right. So, do you want that to be a part of your 4 minutes opening
Yeah.
statement? Or
Yeah,
you
that's
do?
fine.
You're sure with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right. So okay. So who wants to go first? You or Andrew or
You can go
Gary?
first. That's fine.
Well, so Gary's the challenger on this, so he should open, and then he'll get the last word at the close.
Whatever you want.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
You go first, then you get the last one.
That's
okay. And then so we'll put 4 minutes opening statement for both of you. Gary goes first. Then we'll go 1 or 2 rounds where it's open dialogue. If you guys interrupt each other or like it becomes tough, what I'll do is I'll just put time rounds and we'll go 3-minute time rounds per person. Fair? You guys okay with that?
Yep.
I just want to hash out everything before we get on air. That's why.
But I still want to have some back and forth, not
Of
just
cour-
5-minute rounds.
No, I understand that, but I'm saying like I'll
If
do,
it gets too crazy,
I'll allow it
you
for
said-
1 or
yeah.
2.
Yeah.
But last time I did that, you guys just kept over talking to each other, and it becomes unbearable for the audience. So that's why.
I get you.
So that's why I'm like, okay, I'll do it. First 2 rounds. Let's see. Hopefully, you guys, can play nice. But last time it was, yeah.
This is blood sport, like Andrew said.
I know that, but like, I want everybody to be able to get their piece out.
When did Andrew say that?
It's on your Twitter profile, doesn't it?
That I'm a
Bloodsport.
blood sport debater? That doesn't
Yeah.
mean that this is a blood sport debate.
I mean, that's what it is, brother. Let's get into it. Hope you don't take anything personal, my friend.
All right. Cool. Are you guys good on your end? Then we can start this thing
good.
up. All right. I'll just do intros. I'll have you guys introduce yourself both, and then I'll go to Gary for opening statements. We'll get right into it. You have anything?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Once you guys
Yeah.
both have the time frame.
Yeah, so 4 minutes for both opening statements are not interrupted.
Gary
You have to go first,
Yeah.
then Andrew. They'll give their positions. Then after that, we'll go to round 1, and it goes back to Gary for round 1. He'll start it off.
Yeah.
He could talk, and then you're okay with Andrew chiming in when you talk, right? That first round.
Of
Okay.
course.
All right.
Bills. When I say go with the first video that's like at about 100K, and then go to the other one that's over 3 mil.
Yes, sir.
Go to that one first. Okay, let's do it.
Is that how long are they each?
I'll be a
Probably
minute.
like a minute. Like
Yeah,
A minute for both?
Yeah,
probably like a minute.
you can take it out of my opening statement.
Okay, you wanted to go out
Yeah,
to go.
that's
Okay.
fine.
All right. And then
We're gonna make
anything
this-
that goes over, I'll give Andrew that
Of course.
time. All right, cool.
Fine,
All right.
do the timer for a little bit until I get it all situated.
Okay.
Get what I'm saying?
Like you want me to turn the timer on?
Yeah,
When
turn the timer on. Handle the
Yeah,
timer
I'll
first.
turn it on once he starts talking.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Oh, can you put the timer on screen
That's
too?
what I'm saying. You gotta
Okay.
give me some time. So
Oh,
monitor
so
for a
I got to
little
do it the first
bit.
time.
Yeah, you gotta.
All right, that's
yeah,
fine.
give me some time.
That's fine. Yeah, because you have to do it. Okay, that's cool. All right. Yeah, I'll take
Link is posted.
I'll take something. Oh, on Instagram?
Yeah.
Can you tag me in it so I can repost it too?
Go.
Well, also, can you do me a favor? Can you post the last thing on Spotify? And then do me a favor, when you post it, cut out the beginning part, the whole intro banner screen. Just cut that shit out because it plays the Guns N' Roses. They hit me with copyright. They're faggots.
I'm on YouTube, bro.
Oh. Damn it. I didn't realize I saw Mo had my
just going to mute him until this debate starts. Yeah. I'm ready.
And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to Freshman Podcast, man. And we are here with Gary and Andrew Wilson. We're going to be doing a debate on Christianity and numerology. So we're not going to play the intro music, man. We're going to just go ahead and have our guests introduce themselves for you guys. Gary, you want to introduce yourself first?
Yeah, my name is Gary, the numbers guy. I'm the best of the best at what the hell I do. No more introduction needed.
Simple, to the point.
All right. Andrew.
Yeah, I'm Andrew Wilson. I'm the host of The Crucible. It's a popular entertainment channel on YouTube. I'm a political analyst, a political satirist. I also do debates all over the world. I appreciate you guys hosting this debate tonight.
All right. Happy to be here and facilitate it. So I guess we'll go right into opening statements. We had a discussion before about parameters and everything else like that. The way this is going to work, chat, is we're going to have 4 minutes of an opening statement where they kind of give their position of where they stand. And then after that, we're going to go into timed rounds. For the first 1 or 2 rounds, assuming everything goes good, it's going to be open dialogue between the two. Hopefully it doesn't get too rowdy, but if it does, then we'll go back to time rounds where only one person can speak at a time, and we can kind of go from there. But I think both parties agreed to having open dialogue for at least the first 2 rounds, see how it goes. But the opening statements is going to be 4 minutes, uninterrupted, where they state their position. I think Gary is the challenger, so he's going to go first.
Yes.
And Andrew will, and then he'll get the last word as well. So I'll turn it over to Gary. I'll start the timer once he starts talking, and we also have, I think, 1 or 2 videos to play as well that are very short. Did you want to talk first or video first?
Let's go to start talking first.
All right.
Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk to someone who promotes a system that's a relic, whether it be Christianity, Islam, Judaism. See how I put that one in there too? Buddhism, Hinduism. These are all belief systems that were started a long time ago when people were a lot less advanced. When people talk about the family unit, that is a discussion we're going to have today. But here's the thing. I want people to understand this. I'm not debating this as an atheist. I believe in the prime creator. I believe. I won't call the prime creator a god because to me, there's so many false gods. Plus, God spelled dog backwards is dog. So I'm not going to insult the guy like that. To me, the prime creator is real. We're not going to be discussing the validity if there is a prime creator. What we will be discussing is the validity of the system of Christianity, the validity of the system, Islam, but mainly we're going to focus on Christianity. And then we're going to start talking about the practitioners within that system to see if they're actually living up to their so-called virtue. Or we're going to start talking about, is there a better system? And having said that, let's have the tapes. Bills, let's start.
Here comes the attack. Whatever it is.
My name is Gary, the numbers guy. I'm a numerologist, astrologer, and the information you hear in this video just could save your life of a loved one or yourself. Ever since I started studying numerology right after 9/11, it got me to thinking, is there a pattern to this? And what I discovered is absolutely horrifying. Whenever it's the 11th, the 29th, or any day that adds up to an 11, there seems to be a lot of plane crashes in the world. Basically, if you're going to get on a plane on the 11th, 29th, any day that adds up to an 11, or say when the flight number adds up to an 11, things go wrong.
Okay, cut that video. So basically, that was a video from me in 2011. See, unlike most people who pick up grifts, I've been doing this for a while because I actually believe in this. This is what I do. This is what I believe. This is how I live my life. I told people 11 years ago, don't fly on the 11th and 29th. Play the next video, Bills. Do not fly on 11 day. Do not fly on the 29th of the month. You've seen what happened. Not one, not two, not three, but five. Five plane crashes. January 29th, 3 plane accidents in the world. And yesterday, the first day of the snake, 2025, January 29th, we had a very serious plane accident in Washington, D.C., where over 60 people on American's airline died in midair in takeoff because they collided. The whole point is this. There's a better way to live than to believe there's a magic man in the sky. There's a better way to live than to believe a virgin gave a birth to Jesus Christ. No one will believe that stuff in the streets. Why do you believe in fairy tales that are in the Bible? I just showed you as a numerologist. I said, don't fly planes on 11 days or the 29th. What happened? We have 5 plane accidents. Some that have cost people their lives in the past 29th of the month. I didn't say 1st. I didn't say 7th. I didn't say 18th. I said 29th, and that's exactly when it happened. Numerology and astrology is a better way because that is actually the prime creator's language. I yield my time.
All right. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. All right. I'll put 4 minutes on the clock for you, Andrew. I'll start once you get going. And then, Bills, if we have that timer ready for the next one, the one after this one, we'll have it, right? All right, cool. Yeah, go whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so when you're talking about religion, and Gary seems to be saying that he's going to come at this from a religious purview, not as an atheist, and he believes in some system which has what he calls a prime mover or prime creator, which isn't a god, which I don't exactly understand. So I don't actually understand what the religious purview is that Gary is speaking from. So debates, when you're talking about Christianity versus any religion or secularism, it's about worldviews. So what you're doing is you're taking epistemology, which is grounding knowledge and foundational knowledge, and you're seeing if it holds up to the scrutiny inside of a worldview. In other words, are the descriptors for this knowledge, are they coherent? Do they make sense? Is it something which can be followed? Is it something which essentially is coherent in its explanation? Gary does not actually have that. So Gary is using this bizarre system. So, for instance, he brings to bear this evidence. His evidence is, look, I predicted that there would be plane crashes on the 11th, 29th day, this type of thing. But here's all the plane crashes that he forgot about. March 21st, China Eastern Airlines. April 7th, DHL Aero Express. May 12th, Tibet Airlines. May 29th, Tara Air Flight. June 21st, Red Air Flight. July 16th, Meridian Flight. September 4th, October 23rd, November 6th, November 18th. The list goes on and on and on of dates which don't coincide. A prediction that there's going to be some type of aerial catastrophe, which will revolve around the 11th or the 29th. Eventually, you will be right. There's not, I mean, just as an eventuality, that has to be the case. Now, note, he claims he made this prediction years ago, and this validates the prediction. I actually would counter and say that that prediction is invalidated because he made it years ago. Because it's so many years ago, all he had to do was wait over years, because eventually, if you say the sky is going to fall on X day, it will. If you say some type of deterministic accident will happen on X day, eventually you will be correct, especially when you're talking about airlines, air traffic control, car accidents, famous people dying, right? And he's saying, well, 10 years ago, I predicted this. Well, no, 10 years ago, you predicted nothing. You just said there could be plane crashes which happen on these dates, and you missed all the other dates that plane crashes happen on that aren't these dates. And it took 10 years for one to finally happen on that date. That's just mere chance. So this is not evidence for the coherency of his worldview or his system. It's not even proof that his predictions are correct. And with that, I'll yield my time.
All right. You still had 3 minutes. You still had a minute on the clock. So I guess we'll go to.
No. Let me respond to what he said.
Well, this is going to go into
Yeah,
round
yeah.
one of the first debate.
I get you. I get you. Let me finish this up, though. Sir, I did make that prediction 10 years ago. I also made one about 2 days before it happened. Bills, can you play that tape again? The one I did 2 days before the 29th happened. It will be the third video in that list. See, I love the fact that you brought that up. I wanted you to bring up the fact that it was 10 years old because I did the same thing. Do the one with the 11 on it. Yep, play that one.
On 11 days, it's the most likely that you can have issues with planes. We had 3 planes have issues on December 29th, 2024. Korea, Canada, another one. Why? Because it was the 29th and 29th is 11. And I've said this many times. On 11 days, if you can avoid flying, you should. I'm not going to say I haven't flown on 11 day. I have. But if I can avoid it, I do it. Why take that chance if you can avoid it? On 11 days.
Cut the video. So that basically disproves everything you just said, Andrew, because that video was made 2 days before the 29th. So again, sir, you could try to backpedal all you want, whether you go 10 years ago or you go 2 days ago. My message has always been consistent. Now, you're going to say, guess what, Gary? Not all plane crashes happen on the 29th. Guess what? You're right. I agree with you. But the fact is, if you do a mathematical percentage on the days plane crashes do happen, you're going to see they significantly increase on the 11th and 29th. That's why on December 29th, we had 3 plane crashes worldwide. And a couple of days ago, we had 2 including the one in Washington, D.C. So your whole argument is invalidated, my friend. I just gave you more proof right there than it's all of the freaking Bible. I yield my time.
Okay.
All right,
So just to dive in, I'm willing to concede this portion of the argument, Gary. Just show me mathematically that most plane crashes are going to happen on the 11th, 29th. I'll wait.
There've been 4, I believe 5 plane crashes this year.
Yeah, no, actually, there have been significantly more.
Go to the list of how many happened, and then go to the 11th and 29th, and then we can do a mathematical survey. And by the way, I did call
You
this.
you said you already no. You made the statement, the affirmative statement. It is, if in fact, the case that not all plane crashes happen, but the highest percentage of them happen on the 11th and the 29th.
29th.
If that is the case, I await your evidence.
Oh, again, I didn't come here to do mathematical equations.
Then, so you just came here to make claims that you can't.
The evidence is very clear.
Where's the evidence?
Plane crashes yesterday. Where's the one on the 30th, Andrew? Where's the one on the 28th, Andrew? Where's the one on the 27th? So now that you have been basically proven wrong about this, let's move on.
Well, no, let's not move on just yet. Let's not move on just yet. So,
go ahead.
When we pull up plane crashes for 2024, I actually just read you several dates. We can pull up the aviation dates of all plane crashes globally. I don't actually see. So even if one were to happen on the 29th or the 11th and all other ones don't happen on that day, then that would assume that the risk is just as possible for those other dates as hang on, dude. Hang on. I just let you talk. I didn't even interrupt you one time. So what I'm saying to you is that statistically that would mean it's just as likely as any other day that these crashes happened on. Now, again, I'm willing to concede that you're correct in that on the 11th and 29th, that's when the highest percentage of plane crashes happen. I just want you to give me the actual evidence for that. That's all. I'm not asking for you to move the heaven and earth here. I'm not asking you to have the prime creator do anything. I'm just asking for the actual evidence, the statistical evidence that proves on the 11th and 29th, that's when most plane crashes will happen.
Okay, so I'm going to pass this evidence right out to Myron that was just texting me. Myron.
Okay. Yeah, what do you want me to read here?
Just whatever it says. There were 43 accidents, plane crashes in 2020.
I was looking at it like, oh shit, wait.
My bad.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
There you go.
All right. Okay.
Well, you got a chart.
Yeah, he has a chart here. 43 fatal aircraft accidents by day 24. And it shows a chart here. This chart analyzes. Do you want me to put this on the screen for the audience? Okay. Shit. Let me. You texted me this?
No,
I'll give it to Bills
you right now.
All right, and I'll give it to Bills.
1 second.
And I'll put it up on screen.
It's on Twitter, so we've actually.
It's on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm about to send you too. We've done statistical analysis just in case people like Andrew come along, so we can actually prove our point.
Okay. Bills, I'll send you this right now on the Telegram, so you can put it up.
Men lie. We know women lie, but numbers never lie.
So we passed the time for the round, but I'm assuming this is going to be on proving
Now-
the. So we'll
Yeah, of
just
course.
keep it going for this
Yeah,
one.
yeah, go ahead. And then I have some
we'll just keep
counter
running.
evidence.
This is what he asked
Open.
for, and if you ask, we shall provide. Here we
Okay.
go.
And then Andrew, just let us know if there's anything you want us to show on your end. Just let me know, and I'll have Bills put it up as well. You know what I mean? Make sure that it's completely fair all around.
Okay.
Can you see that, Andrew?
I can't see anything.
Can't. Okay, I can. Was there? Is it? Wait.
But I
first.
can, if you just tell me what the source is, I'll pull it up and follow along with you guys.
I will. Actually, I'll do you one better. I'll text it to you right now on your
Okay.
phone,
Great.
so you have it. The audience can see it on our end, but I'll give it to you so you can look at it as well. And while I send you this, I'll read it out loud. Analyzes fatal aircraft incidents by the day of the month, with the day's numerological energy reduced. The data reveals a striking alignment with Gary Greenberg's insights as 11 energy emerges as a key factor linked to malfunctions and significant events, offering valuable implications for aviation safety. And then it shows the month and the days. It looks like here. So yeah, on the bottom you have day of month, and then on the left hand side you got frequency.
And then you go there. You can see that there's a significantly amount more plane crashes than all the other days. Now, am I saying they only happen on those days? Of course not. What I am saying is there's a significant increase in fatalities, and when it comes to planes on certain days, based off numerology. And here's the evidence.
And just to be clear, what are those days?
Those are the 43 fatal accidents that we've had.
No. I'm sorry. I'll just clarify the question. What are the days you're saying? It's the 11th.
So anything. So 29th, because 2 and 9 is 11.
Okay.
The other day is something that adds up to the day they attacked Afghanistan. Afghanistan was attacked, I believe, 10/7/2001. 107020001 adds up to an 11. So that is the only ways you can come up with 11 energy. And based off those statistical analysis, you can see there's an increase here. So I'm very happy you brought those type of questions up and stuff like that. We're ready for you.
Good. So let me just. Is actually on the 17th. Here's my proof.
Mm-hmm.
The total 787 people killed in the combination of these accidents are the worst in history. Remember, Gary just got done telling you that these are going to be the days which correspond with the most deadly accidents, and they're not. 1996, 2000, 2007, 2014. That would be Malaysian flight, TAM 3054, Alliance Air 7412, and TWA 800 for a combined 786.
So
no, you said that's when you get the most casualties.
Happen on 11 days. Don't change the narrative.
You said that's when you get the most casualties.
I understand you want to move the goalpost, but I said most accidents happen on 11
You
days.
said the most fatalities.
Evidence, and now you're backtracking. But you lied in the last debate. So
what am I backtracking on? You said the most fatalities happen on those days. What you did was you took a graph of only 43.
Most accidents happen on 11 days. That graph proved exactly what I said.
Well, no, the graph. Well, you did show two. Hang on. Let me respond. Let me respond, dude. So yes, but that's exactly what you would do. You would say if this was consistently true, that every year this was consistently true. If it's consistently true every year, then you are indeed, yes, correct. That on the 11th and 29th, that's when you're going to see the most amount of these accidents happen, if year by year that is the case. However, it's not. Not only is it not, but the most deadly days on the 17th, proven by these 4 flights that I just gave you with a combined.
So again, I said most plane accidents happen on certain days. I was proven right.
No, you weren't proven right. You only showed 2024.
Okay, so 2024, but I also went on video 2 days before the 29th and said, don't fly on the 29th, and we just had the most horrific plane crash of 2025 happen on the 29th. The point is, there is something to this, and if you don't actually see something to this, because I've given you statistical analysis, this is a reason for all you people who are listening right now to go out there and do the research, go out there and do like the work, and you will see how the validity gave birth to Jesus Christ. That is his, right to believe that. But we believe in logic, and based on logic, mathematics, and percentages, numbers don't lie.
Yeah,
my
but
friend.
even if I was wrong, let's just say I was completely wrong about the religious belief of the virgin birth and all of the various criticisms you have about Christianity, even assuming that was incorrect, that wouldn't make your system correct. That is logic. So logic would dictate, even if Andrew wrong, that doesn't mean Gary right, or even if Gary right, that doesn't mean Andrew wrong. The four most deadly air disasters all fell on the 17th, not on the 29th or the 11th. All of those air disasters combined on the 17th had a grand total of 787. No four combinations reached that number. Therefore, Gary, you are wrong in your analysis that the most deadly flights happened there, one. And two, you're also wrong in your analysis that year by year, you will find the most amount of these accidents happen on the 11th and 29th, which is why you only gave us a single year analysis. Now, what that's called, hang on, I'm almost done. What that's called is a data bias. That's when what you do is you take your sample, and then you apply your sample to the current thing you already back 15 years or to even 10 years, year by year, I can show you that on the 11th and 29th, there's always the most amount of aircraft accidents which happen around these days. That would actually be pretty powerful evidence. And I would be like, I'd have to take another look at that. But that's not what you did. You only gave us a single data set for 2024, which affirms the bias you already have. And when you said it had the most casualties, that was just factually incorrect, Gary.
This is what we're talking about. This is a liberal straw man argument. First, I proved that I said something. It happened. I was right. He still doesn't accept it. It's never going to be enough for people like this. But these are the same type of people who tell you to believe in the Bible. They tell you to believe Jesus Christ is coming back. These are the same type of people who offer absolutely no proof that anything they believe in, but they won't accept mathematical proof from you. They will always keep pushing further and further and further. He doesn't want to have an honest conversation. And that's exactly and the 29th or any day that adds up to an 11. And Andrew, if you would really like me to do 20-year statistical analysis, I'll pay someone to do it. And if that will be enough evidence for you, tell me right now on this stream, that would be enough evidence to you if I go back 20 years, because then I didn't go back 50 years, or hell, I didn't go back 100 years, because it's never going to be enough for you. You're always going to move the goalposts. I gave enough statistical evidence for the people who are watching, at least the ones with
to all of this. I don't know why. Is it what Gary's doing is he's trying to switch the burden of proof. It's very strange. These are Gary's claims, not Andrew's claims. I didn't claim what day the most aircraft accidents happen. Gary claims that. I didn't claim that this is true. Gary claims this is true. These are Gary's claims. He says, well, what would it take to convince you of my claims? And it's like, well, pretty simple. If the claim, and this is the claim Gary made, that on the 11th and 29th, that's when the most amount of were developed? Is that always okay? So if that's the case, then it's perfectly reasonable and acceptable for me to say, if that is true, then every single year since the very first airplane was made, you should be able to give me a very simple statistical analysis. Now, let's go on to part 2 here. Pull that chart up again.
Pull up.
Okay. The one we just had before, right?
The yellow chart.
Yeah, Bills will get it back up.
The one from X.
Should be in the in the
Chat.
Telegram. And then after this,
Let's move on.
because we're talking about plane crash. You guys want to talk about
Christianity.
Jesus?
Yeah.
Christianity?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so go ahead, pull the chart up one more time.
Yeah. We're letting this one rock because obviously this all encompasses plane crashes in 11. So
Here it is.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So are you claiming that there's only been 43 crashes, Gary? Because I was just reading your chart.
No,
Or are you
no.
just claiming that there's only 43 crashes which were fatal?
Fatal.
Then if that's the case, if we were to use the statistical analysis for just fatal crashes, which I actually don't even think that's correct. I think let's just yield that this is correct, and there was only 43 global accidents. This would include non-commercial airliners, I would assume, single-engine Cessnas, guys who fly on their own, guys who are going out and taking private aircraft.
I'm not sure if we got someone in Zimbabwe who took a joyride and went down.
Well,
but
I mean, but either way, even if he did, it should still be on the 11th or the 29th. The thing is that if it is the case, are you also saying that those are the most deadly days, meaning the most amount of people died on those days?
That's not what it said. That's what you said.
So, okay, got it. So if that's not the case, not on the 11th and the 29th, wouldn't you want to predict the days with the most amount of fatalities rather than the days with the most amount of crashes?
Oh, you want to talk about maybe one crash happened on the 17th that killed a whole bunch of people, but I'm going to tell you there's been about 10 that happened on the 11th, and maybe the total amount of people died wasn't exactly the same. That's a straw man argument. I'm telling you they mostly happened on the 11th and 29th, and that's my whole argument, sir. Let's not move anything, the goalpost anywhere. That is the whole argument right there.
Yeah, but I'm giving an inquiry. If I could demonstrate that more people died off the day of the 11th and 29th, wouldn't it then be more useful to give people the days in which the most amount of deaths will happen rather than the days in which the least amount of deaths happen?
That happened this year, so we'll see how the year goes. But it's already there. Washington, D.C., RIP the 35 or 37 souls that actually, 65 souls that died in the plane crash in Washington, D.C., which is crazy because all of us were just there. All of us were just at that airport.
The 11th and 29th of each and every year, that those are the days in which the most amount of all aircraft which fly around go down.
It adds up to an 11, correct? Like
this includes all military aircraft?
I believe it encompasses everything.
You think that there was only 43 fatal accidents, which included military aircraft?
I don't know if it includes military aircrafts or not, but commercial.
But shouldn't it include military aircraft? Aren't they beholden to the same numbers rules as commercial airlines?
When it comes down to military,
the same amount of the most of them going down on the 11th or 29th, right?
I will be more than happy to put all those statistics within a week, sir. And we'll do it on Twitter so we can go back and forth as well.
Do you think if I pulled up the Ukraine stats on which days various jets were shot down, the most amount of them?
If you want to do all of that.
Yeah, that the most amount of them were shot down on the 11th and 29th? And that the most helicopters go down on the 11th and 29th?
You want to go drones too?
Yeah, I'm assuming this is all. Is this all aircraft or?
Now, where you at? Ukraine now.
What gives them like a numerological exception?
It's a war zone, and we're talking about commercial aircrafts, Cessnas, private aircrafts, things of that nature.
Yeah, but why are other aircraft accepted from this rule?
Because when you have a war zone, different rules apply, don't they, sir?
Or different numbers rules from the prime creator apply?
Well, of course, on 11 days. Well, I mean, you want to talk about 9/11 when the first plane to hit the World Trade Center was Flight 11? We can talk about that as well.
Yeah, but I don't understand why there's an exception.
You want to talk about the plane that hit the World Trade
Center?
I
don't understand why there's
9/11. No. I mean, you're saying it doesn't happen. I'm giving you examples. With the World Trade Center.
Nobody said nothing about it. It doesn't happen. You're just making stuff up. So
when is it enough, sir?
All right.
When
you're all done spurging, let me know, and we can continue the argument.
We'll stay away from 9/11.
Yeah, please. I'd appreciate it. It's not. I don't care. Like, I'm happy to get into it. It's just we have TOS. So anyway, so over on this should encompass all aircraft, and let's just say we reply correctly. Now we have a new number set of some kind. I don't know how that works exactly, but let's just assume that too. Gary says there's only 43 total accidents which happened with airplanes in 2024. That's his entire statistical. That's just what?
Sir.
What's that?
Fatalities.
Yeah, only 43 with fatalities. Okay, fair enough. We'll clarify it. So only 43 total with.
Don't pull up 200.
So that would include. So that would include non-commercial airlines, helicopters. That would include all aerial aircraft going down, military or otherwise. So he doesn't even give us the full data set. He doesn't even give us the full 2024 data set. There was way more than 43 airplanes that crashed that had fatalities. I guarantee you, especially if you incorporate globally. That's true. We don't even have a complete data set there. On top of that, even the data set we do have is only for 1 year, and all it does is affirm a bias that Gary has. It's not proof of anything, Gary.
So if we go back to the GDP of a country last year, it doesn't prove anything about the GDP of the country. Is that what you're telling me?
No, it proves exactly what the GDP of the country was.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
my statistics stand for what they are. Let's move
That
on.
doesn't. That's not an argument, though. Like you saying, if we go back and look at the look at the numbers for the GDP. Could it show on the 11th and 29th that that's when the most of them went down? Sure, but that doesn't tell us anything.
What do you mean it doesn't tell us anything?
Well, it doesn't tell us that it is the case that since aviation began on the 11th and 24th, every single year is when the most amount of aircraft go down. That's your argument.
Enough. 10 years will not be enough. He wants all the evidence, and then
Yeah.
even that will be enough.
I know. I want evidence. Yeah.
But this is the same person who will say, believe in Jesus Christ, believe in my Lord and Savior, and he can't even give you an iota of the proof that I just. He can't prove anything. He can't even prove Jesus existed.
Well, so in this debate, I haven't made a single claim yet. That's one.
No, you
all I've
it.
done is respond. All I've done is respond to claims which Gary has made. So all I'm doing, and Gary, you'll get a chance to go to get into whatever claims you want with me. But I'm just saying, right now, these are claims you made that we're diving into. If you so
claims for 2024 are correct. You want more analysis. People who are listening to this right now, if they're not enough for you, that's fine. But what I'm trying to tell you is very simple. I can provide evidence for what I believe in. You can't provide iota.
Not an iota?
Should we get into the Christianity?
Yeah,
thing?
but just real quick, because we're almost wrapped up. I just want to be clear here, and then I'll give Gary the last word, and then we can move on. Gary, we were very specific, and I got clarity on each claim. So Gary's actual claim, and you guys can back this tape up. Days are going to have the most aircraft crashes, regardless of the year since aviation started. That's Gary's claim one. Claim two, he did say these are the days when it's the deadliest, right? I disproved that immediately, so that's completely disproven. I demonstrated that by showing the date 17th actually has. Okay, can dude? I won't interrupt you when you're giving your close on this. I won't interrupt you. Just don't interrupt me. So, anyway. The point is that we could do this with almost anything. We can use a set year analysis for almost anything that has an affirmation bias for a single year. That's not how you do a statistical analysis. Gary knows this. Everybody knows this. You would have to do a statistical analysis of such a bold claim of the 11th and 29th of each year by taking all commercial, military aircraft, everything, combining them over each year, and then determining that on these 2 days is when the most amount of those crashes happen. Showing me a chart of 2024 of 43 crashes is just plain lazy, and it doesn't prove shit. That's the last I'll say on it.
That's your opinion. And listen, now that we're getting it was real, but he didn't accept it because it wasn't enough. But remember, I'm about to turn this on him. And he won't be able to give me an iota, a shred of evidence that Christianity is real, Jesus Christ existed, a virgin gave birth to Jesus. He won't be able to do any of it. So now, my friend, I'm looking forward to this because you set your bar so high with mine. Let's see how low you set it with yours, sir.
Okay.
So we will move into the Christianity portion. You guys are still okay with open dialogue for 4 minutes on this topic, and we can use as many rounds. You guys want to go with Jesus was? What's your position on Jesus Christ?
Well, it's very simple. When you look at the leftists, we look at them as crazy when they say there's more than two genders, because that's lunacy.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, people who believe like me look at the right wing who believe a virgin gave birth to Jesus Christ the same way you look at those crazy lefties who believe, oh, there's more than two
real
genders.
quick, Gary, I just want to know the
Jesus Christ being born from a virgin, all the fairy tales that are in the Bible. That's what we want to discuss.
Okay, just so we can stay concise here, because we can do the other stuff. So,
of course,
you're challenging the validity of him being born to a Virgin Mary.
Of course.
Well,
okay.
The
And
foundation, yeah, of the
the
Bible.
foundation of that.
Yeah,
Wait,
basically, like
wait, which one?
Christianity
is
itself. He's challenging Christianity itself.
I mean, I want to keep it kind of specific so we can move on. So the Virgin Mary.
And we can start with that, but there's a lot of ways we can go with this.
Sure. But I want to go per topic so that it stays.
He talks down the bimbos and stuff. And if any of them told him that they were a virgin and they're pregnant, he'd say they're crazy. But yet we're supposed to believe something that's in a 2,000-year-old book.
Okay.
But go ahead,
so
Andrew. I yield to you.
Who wants to? We'll put the timer. We'll put 4 minutes on here. This will be back and forth. Maybe 5 minutes. I don't know, because it's going to be between both of them. Who wants to go first? As far as he's making the assertion that he doesn't believe in it. Andrew, do you want to go first, or?
Yeah, sure. I can.
Okay.
Very classical argument for this, Gary, just so that you have it. It's written out. There's 6 conditions that gives reason for us to accept the doctrine of Jesus Christ being born of a virgin. Conditional 1, the very fact the doctrine exists at all gives reason for accepting it. There was something abnormal about his birth is a strong a posteriori argument for its basis. If he had been born naturally by 2 parents, then nothing would be mentioned about it in the Bible, right? There just wouldn't be any mention. That would make no sense. The Jewish atmosphere, the narratives themselves. Most scholars universally believe Jesus Christ existed, was a man. I can give you the institutes which believe that Jesus Christ was a person, an actual person who existed. This includes biblical scholars, classic historians, New Testament scholars, and Old Testament scholars. The rest of the New Testament is silent about doctrine. Had this teaching been invented, there might be more reason for writers to touch on it further, to argue for it. Instead, they don't. So the church universally accepts this doctrine. Jesus, meaning sets the foundation of Christianity. This has been the set foundation for it. So the idea that their eyewitnesses actually were present and that this was a determination made and that there's never been resistance to the foundation of this shows that there's good validity to be had, that because this person existed, because there was clearly something special about his birth, and the eyewitnesses at the time are determining that there is something special about this birth, and the doctrine canonically has gone on for 2,000 years, not disputing. This could have happened, yes. Very powerful evidence it could have happened. Now, before you attack this and say things like, well, I want, I want something better than eyewitness testimony. Well, just remember that most historic figures are based around eyewitness testimony. Almost all. Like Socrates, for instance, he didn't. Hang on, Gary. It's my opening here.
Go ahead.
Okay. So anyway, you'll see that Socrates, people like this, they don't actually exist except in the writings of other people. They didn't. Figures existed because when scholars go back through and they run determination text, and we have eyewitness testimony of it from multitudes of different sources and dates, it's reasonable at that point to make the assumption that these people existed. Yeah,
reasonable. Okay,
all right.
They've had eyewitness witness counts of Bigfoot, and they have books of Bigfoot. I mean, based off what you're telling me, all you need is eyewitness,
Actually, that makes my point for me.
Bigfoot
Yeah.
is real based off the logic
that's
that you
true.
just told us based off Jesus Christ. So Bigfoot must be real too.
Here, I'm gonna explain this because this logic actually is in my favor, not in yours. So the Bible is the most investigated book in the history of all of mankind. There's no book which has been more sold or more studied by more people than this book.
Right.
Okay. The thing about your Bigfoot claim that coincides with my claim is that because there was an investigated phenomenon, people did begin to investigate it because it became credible the second there was eyewitness testimony and evidences which were provided as to the credibility of the phenomenon. That does not mean that Bigfoot existed, of course. However, it does lead to evidences towards the investigation for the clarification. So here's what happened when those things began to be investigated. They found guys in suits and guys making footprints and things like this. So the investigated evidence didn't lead to the conclusion, which Jesus fact a man who existed, and he likely was crucified by Pontius Pilate. That's powerful evidence, Gary.
Would any of that evidence stand up in the court of law?
Yeah, of course.
It would.
Eyewitness evidence always stands up in court of law. What do you mean?
Well, eyewitnesses who are alive, sir. Not people who are so-called eyewitnesses who are dead, who people can't question, sir.
Well, no, that's completely incorrect. So evidences are submitted to courts all the time from people who have passed away. People leave behind diaries all the time, which are submitted into evidences into court. They're not alive anymore, but give credible evidences as to whether or not there could have been somebody who had a hand in foul play or fraud or any number of different things. So on this, you're incorrect.
So you're telling me you can take the Bible to a court of law and basically prove it's real?
No, that's not what I said, Gary. What did I say?
I'm telling you, give me enough evidence that Jesus is real.
Okay.
Because if you don't, sir, it's all fallacy.
What's the fallacy? What's the
You
fallacy?
cannot prove that a virgin had Jesus Christ no matter. Oh, do you understand the insanity here, sir?
No.
You are basically acting like the leftists who say, yo, it's a miracle. Just believe me. There's eyewitnesses all over who believe in this. You have to take them at its word.
What leftists? What leftists are saying this about evidence? What are you talking about?
The leftists are telling you there's more than two genders, sir. It doesn't make sense. You provide.
What does that have to do with anything we're talking about?
It's very simple because mental illness that you guys have, believing that a virgin gave birth to Jesus Christ, where you know that's impossible for a virgin to have a child.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Of course, it's not impossible. It's not impossible for a virgin to have a child, bro. It's not impossible. What's the contradiction? For something to be impossible, it has to be a contradiction. What's a contradiction that a virgin can't have a child when you just admitted a virgin can?
Some of those whores you talk to online tell you they're pregnant and they've never had sex. You're going to believe them?
There have been women that I've talked to who've been inseminated while they were virgins. Yeah.
Artificial insemination, correct. But you have to have sex.
And that's true. Yeah.
How is that possible without that process?
So well, hang on. So let's take it step by step. So you have to start when you say a thing is impossible. What you have to understand, what you're saying is that somewhere in there is a contradiction. That's what would make it impossible. From your metric, though, this is not impossible. You're just saying it's improbable. That's fine. You can say it's improbable, or you're not convinced by the evidences which are put forward. Even though, as far as a historic standard goes, there's good credibility to begin with. That's why the credibility even exists in the first place. So your idea, like the idea here, hang on, the idea here that you can make the claim, I'm not convinced by the evidence, is fair. The idea that you say there is no evidence is not fair. So that's what my argument to you would be. It's just you can always say you're unconvinced by evidence. Anybody can say that. They can make up whatever standard they want. I don't even know what standard of evidence Gary would accept. Like what? I don't even know. way the atheist position. They just say they remain unconvinced by the evidence.
Because I don't-
But and that's fine. But you can't say there isn't any evidence. That's a different claim altogether.
Your fairy tales. I'm an atheist. I said I believe in Prime Creator. I do not believe in your
Could
interpretation.
the prime creator make a woman pregnant who was a virgin?
No, of course not. Because
Why
he
not?
doesn't interfere. The
Why
prime
not?
creator never interferes, and it's not Christ is king; it's karma is king. Because you have to understand, the real God never interferes. He throws. Are you going to be a piece of shit just so you can have more money? Are you going to cheat on your girl just because you have some pussy right here? That's going to be tests. They're going to be right in front of you over and over. And guess what, sir? Once you die, then you're judged by your karma. And that's how it actually works.
And then where do you go?
What you reap is what you sow. I believe that's in the Bible. But we'll talk about the Bible a little bit more.
Yeah, sure. So shall you reap as you sow. Sure.
That's karma right there.
Yeah, but
Good interpretation of it?
yeah, well, no, not really, because
Okay, I'm asking
what they're saying, like, if you can grow rotten things out of the ground, right, that are rotten, because they don't have like any spiritual guidance, or they're spiritually sick or things like that. It's not actually giving a karma base of like, if you do bad things will happen to you. That's not really what that means.
You don't believe that?
That karma exists? No.
No? Okay.
No.
So everything's according to the good Lord to you, correct?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you're a Christian, so you live. So would you agree that the type of person you are and the type of a life you have lived, would say a lot about how good of a Christian you are?
Well, I mean, sure. I think that Christian ethics is somewhat complex, but it's also overly simplified. And I'll give you the oversimplified version. So Christian ethics is taking a combination of virtues and duties, and then the teachings of Jesus Christ is combining them to the outlook of the follower of Jesus Christ. So we know what we ought to do, what we should not do, what forgiveness is, what forgiveness isn't, why you need church authority, normative authority to guide you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Christian ethics, and that's kind of my domain, person is somewhat different because Christianity exists in what's called pluralism. So, like, let me give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
If you lived in Japan, the way that you would honor your mother and father would be different than the way you lived in the United States, right? You would have to honor them differently based on the cultural customs. Yeah. Yeah, you'd have. So that's what pluralism would be. You still have to honor them in Christianity. However, based on the cultural dynamics that you're in, there could be multiple ways to honor them, which would still fit inside of the dimension of you adhering to the principle.
Marrying women that were married before.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, say a woman was married to a man, then she divorced, she was married to another man, then divorced, then she remarried again.
Yeah.
What are Christian ethics of that?
Yeah, so what the doctrine says is that there's good reasons for divorce, and this is outlined by Paul, and this is also outlined by Jesus Christ himself, and then Paul really gave are completely reasonable terms for divorce or extensive physical abuse. Those would be fair terms for divorce under church doctrine and ecclesiastical authority.
Okay. And this is a situation that you have dealt with and your father has dealt with. I've watched the videos about you when you talked about how your father had multiple wives, and you're of the same, just like him, had multiple wives too, correct?
Well, yeah, that's true. Break any vows. You have two people who exist. For one thing, this is I would say this is outside the purview of the debate, but
I don't think so.
But hang on, Gary, I'm willing to engage. Gary, calm down. I'm willing to engage with it. I'm willing to engage with it. Calm down.
We'll have to go to time rounds.
Yeah,
here.
calm down. Are you saying that a divorce under grounds of abandonment or addiction or things like this, that those are not
people make those statements, sometimes they lie. You know, Christians have a habit of lying, as you know, with our last debate. So you know,
okay, so I'm sorry. That's
say
that
something about
if
it.
you're
That's-
claiming I'm lying, that's fine. I just would like the proof.
well, I mean, you're taking care of another man's kids, aren't you?
And the proof that I've done anything wrong is?
Well, the proof is that you took an oath to a wife, and basically you broke that vow.
No, I didn't. I
Now
had
you're-
first of
now
all,
you're with the
first of
different
all, well, I won't even get into all the details. They're not even important. But the thing is like, Gary, it was completely appropriate to have such a divorce. One, and two, same thing with my wife. She was abandoned. Like, what do you want? By the way, it would be the most Christian, as far as Christian ethics, it's most Christian thing to do, to take care of the people who are around you. Like, why would it, for instance, like, if your brother died or something like this, wouldn't you take care of his kids?
That's a false narrative. No,
Wouldn't you take care of his kids?
No. What happened is another.
What's immoral about that, Gary?
Is that what a good Christian is?
Yeah, what's immoral about that?
Hold on.
I'm asking if that's good Christian value.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely, there's Christian values. Like, what's wrong with that?
Another man's kid snipping his Christian values in your book.
Guys.
Yes, taking care of people's kids, especially if they don't have a father, is a Christian virtue. Sure.
Guys, we've deviated from the Jesus Christ discussion with the Virgin Mary. Do you guys want to move on to ethics now?
This is ethics.
Yeah,
This is what do people.
So this is what we'll do. If we're gonna go ahead and suspend the debate on the Virgin Mary and etc.
Time limits.
We'll move on to we're gonna do time limits now. We're gonna put. Are you guys okay with 3 or 4 minutes on the clock?
Whatever he likes, man.
Which one did you prefer, Andrew? 3 or
We
4?
just do 3 minutes. It's fine.
All right. So we'll do 3 minutes. I'm gonna give it to Gary because you brought up this topic of his wife. We're moving on from the Virgin Mary conversation. And then we'll go 3 minutes uninterrupted. Each person can make their argument, and then if you can see, then I'll bring it back to him, and then we do it as many rounds you guys need. But go ahead.
Well, it basically to others about what a good Christian is and how people should become Christians, then the way you live your life has a lot to do with it, because you basically have to do what you preach, or you're a fraud. So here's what it comes down to, man. If you already made vows to a woman and you broke them and now you're with a different woman, a lot of Christians would consider that adultery. Quite frankly, your wife, and again, I have nothing against her. This has nothing to do with her personally. But the fact of the matter is, she would said, I will love you forever, and she has kids from those people's marriages. Now, you always talk about a nuclear family, sir. What kind of nuclear family is this?
What do you what should she
bedrock? Hold on, sir.
Yeah, what
Nuclear
okay, go ahead.
Family is the bedrock of society. A mom, a dad, kids, not a Brady Bunch. Not an ex-wife and an ex-husband. They get a whole bunch of kids from different marriages together, and they think everything's going to be kumbaya. This is what destroys Muslim or a good anything. Pick the right one the first time. Now, I'm going to make this clear. I'm a numerologist. I'm not divorced like you, brother. I'm not divorced like your woman, because I pick my my woman based off numerology and astrology. Come up here, baby. We're going to make this abundantly clear, okay? When it comes down to it, you have to understand that numerology and astrology is supreme. Numerology and astrology will Christian nonsense. You've already failed, sir. She has failed twice. You have failed once. Who knows? Maybe you got another fail in the future. I don't know. But all I know is I've been married to my baby for 20 years. And everything we do is based off numerology and astrology. And last point, I'm not raising someone else's kids as a numerologist. You are as a Christian. I yield my time.
All right, we'll put 3 minutes on the clock. It seems like this debate is more on ethics and
personal ethics.
Yeah, I guess
At this point, yeah.
Andrew.
Jesus Christ himself had a stepfather. I don't. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know why you think this is a dunk. Yes, of course. The ethical thing and the ethical purview to do is to try to take care and assist people can assist themselves. There's nothing within Christian ethics or Christian virtues which disallow from you marrying a woman who has children from previous marriages. There's nothing. There's nothing there. Which, dude, I didn't interrupt you. Don't interrupt me. None of that disallows it. Okay, so I don't even know where. Bro, and you think that I'm some red pill content creator, but I'm not. I follow the ideals. Yeah, stop talking, dude. Stop talking. You can't seem to help but spurt. Within the purview of Christian ethics, not only am I not doing anything wrong, but I'm doing everything. All you're doing is affirming I'm a good man. You're like, Andrew's a good man and takes care of people. Oh, I know, terrible fucking Christian, awful. I don't even know how this is a dunk. What you're also trying to do is you're also trying to placate ego and materialism by saying, look, I bought this chick. Have this wonderful, great marriage. And, I'm not raising anybody else's kids and blah, 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 blah. I'm a numerologist. Buy my shit. Buy my product. I don't know why you're interrupting me again. Why you keep interrupting me, bro?
Gary, don't worry.
It's my turn.
You're good.
So the thing is like, for you to just say, well, what you're doing is anti-Christian. There's nothing anti-Christian about it. This is an old criticism. It never done anything to hurt me a bit. This type of thing, you're dealt the hand that you're dealt. People have stepfathers, they love their stepfathers. People have stepmothers, they love their stepmothers. It happens this way sometimes. Is it optimal for society? No. Does it lead to a massive amount of degeneracy? Ultimately, if this is something which is a goal, this is, in other words, something you're pushing society towards, of course. But that has nothing to do with the personal situation of an individual person or individual circumstances, each of which should be assessed on their own merits within the confines of Christian ethics. So the only usually will do this after they've lost a debate with me, and that's exactly what's happening now, just like it happened before.
When did I lose the debate?
Is that it, Andrew? Or
that's it?
Okay. Yeah. All right. You had a little bit extra time. We'll turn it back to you, Gary. I'll put 3 minutes on the clock.
Let's get started, man. We have a man here who failed in his first marriage, and again, this is a devout Christian man, and he married someone who has kids from 2 different men. So okay, this is exactly what it is. This man is a simp, and he's trying to use religion as a clutch and a cope to cope for his simp. Sir, I never confused you for red pill. A red pill would never have someone like your wife who's been with 2 different men raising different kids, okay? So let's not have anyone confuse anyone with red pill here. You are a grifter. You are a religious grifter who is using it as a clutch to get people on your side, to get other Christians to like you. 2.3 billion people in this cult. But remember what this man just showed you. He can't prove Jesus is real by any stretch of the imagination. All he can tell you is, oh, well, if a whole bunch of people agree on something, that must be real. Okay, sir. Use that logic the same way you talk to women. This man will go on the whatever podcast. This man will go on Fresh and Fit and call people cucks when he's a simp himself taking care of other people. This is basically what he is. He's a fraud. He's been proving what he is. And at on, bro. This is a 40-year-old woman. You want to compare what as Christianity got you to what numerology got me? This is facts, sir. So again, you're a joke. You're being made to look like a joke right now. So you can keep simping the Christianity. You can keep grifting it. At the end of the day, sir, you go home to a ran through woman with a whole bunch of different kids, and that's what you are. That's what your legacy is. So keep praying, brother, because they ain't gonna help you. I'll finish with this. That means tens of billions of people alive have basically thought that Jesus is coming back in their lifetimes. That means tens of billions of people died fools. Jesus ain't coming back. I can't prove he didn't exist. I will give that to you. I can't prove he didn't exist. But you and everyone like you can't prove he did. In closing, my wife came here on a work visa. I found her 20 years ago. I looked at her birthday. I said, loyal, warm. Because you know what? Maybe to you, it doesn't matter that you raise kids that don't look like you. To me, it does. We ain't the same, bro.
All right. I'll put 3 minutes on the clock.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, Andrew. Yeah, I guess this will be the last one on this round, I'm guessing. And then what was the next topic that you guys want to hit with
Yeah.
Christianity?
Okay. So now you guys, I did not interrupt Gary even once, right?
Yeah,
ahead.
and don't
Okay.
worry, if you will add time to your clock.
So imagine the Yamako. I'm sorry, sir. I just want to point out to you, the woman you're with, not the same distinguishing phenotypical characteristics that you have. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. First of all, did I interrupt you even once, Gary? Stop spurging, Gary. Calm down, Gary.
Yeah.
That's one. Two, you're not rich. You're a fucking fraud. And you've been a fraud for years. And I have lists of all of the frauds in which you've conducted, which include your fake rings, which include your fake ties to the Trump administration. That's a lie. How do I know? Well, it's pretty easy to deduce because the people who are in the Trump administration have no fucking clue who you are, Gary. And they're definitely not taking numerological advice from you. That's for damn sure. On top of all of this, all that you have done is say, Andrew, because I can't defeat your arguments, I'm going to attack the fact that 20 years ago or 15 or whatever it is, you married a woman who doesn't prove anything. And then two, you also say that I preach. I don't preach. I'm not a preacher. I've never preached. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm a debater. I debate worldviews and I debate subversive worldviews especially, but I don't preach to anybody. I don't know where the fuck you even came up with that. I don't have a ministry and I don't want one. I'm sure I could have one, but I don't want a ministry. On top of all of this, your claims are actually quite weak, right? The only thing that you can say is like, well, if you have stepkids, you're a cuck. That would encompass so many people. It's unbelievable. And fucking sense at all. If you were to take care of kids from like a brother or sister who died, you would equally be a cuck. Like all of these things you would have to give a semantic distinction why it's a different thing, right? Being a step parent is not evil, Gary. Now, when you're talking about optimals for society, I can talk about what's optimal. It is optimal to be in an intact nuclear family. Who would know that better than somebody who wasn't in one? You're saying that a person who wasn't in a nuclear family could never That's like saying that former drug addicts can't tell people that drugs are bad. It's like, of course they can. And those are the people you want to say it more than anyone. So I don't understand even the logic here. It makes no sense. But on top of all of that would be forgivable. Okay? All of it would be forgivable. If it weren't the case that I know you're just a subversive. That's it. And the only reason you're upset with me is because I'm vastly popular and I'm going to continue to be vastly popular while you nip on my heels on fucking X like the fat, pathetic loser that you are, Gary. And there's nothing that you're going to be able to do about that. And the reason is because I am superior at debate. I'm superior at politics. And I have literally found you out and shown people that you continuously claim has made you rich and has made you this and has made you that. Well, that's a fraud too. When you are put on the spot for your actual numerological takes, they don't even amount to anything. Like when you're talking about airplanes and this and that, 43 accidents, this is all bullshit. And people who watch this, even if they walk away thinking, that guy Andrew, what a scumbag because he has stepkids, right? Or there was divorces in their past, right? Even if they all walked away thinking that,
We'll give let's put 4 minutes on the clock for
Okay.
Gary.
Yeah.
Andrew went over there, but it's
Okay.
fine. I didn't want to interrupt. Did you guys want to continue on
no,
with
let
this
me
or
re-
move to the next?
Let me respond, and then we
you
can
want to
move on.
respond?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Who went for? Hold on, I wrote it down.
Gary went
You-
first.
Yeah, Gary went
I
first
need to
on this
respond to
one.
this.
So then, okay, whoever goes first gets the last.
Yeah, I
or-
need to respond to this.
All right.
Okay. Let's start like this. You're pretty good at
Got
Drew
4 minutes on the clock.
refresh. You know what's real. Does that look like a fake ring to you? In your vast expert opinion.
The weight is definitely there,
Uh-huh.
but I would need a machine to verify everything. But it looks pretty real to me.
Okay. Okay. Now let's start.
No.
Okay. Did I say for about 3-4 months straight I'm gonna get you in Trump's inauguration?
Yes.
And was that a very difficult ticket to get?
Yes. I think 15.
Myron, when you were in DC with me, did I not offer to take you to Trump's inauguration?
Yeah.
Did I not have the tickets with me?
You did.
Okay. So again, I never said I know Donald Trump personally. I said I know people in his administration, which is what I do. And I got Liberty Ball tickets, which see him there? I didn't see him there.
Yeah, you
But I
bought
saw a
tickets.
lot
You
of people
bought
who
tickets
actually
to an
mattered,
event.
but not you. So
Mhm.
just the fact of the matter is, because I could actually get people at events, sometimes people who other people don't even want there, I can still get them in because I got pulled like that. So you might not believe it, but quite frankly, you don't matter. I got a bigger TikTok than you. I got a bigger YouTube than you. And by the way, I might be catching your heroes on X, which is because I've been suspended 24 times. I would have 24 times. Bravo, brother. Bravo. Now, this man basically attacked my character. Here's the thing. I don't care if he believes in numerology. He's a pleb. Okay. I don't expect to win the debates in the comment. I'm a Jew. Okay. Let's face it, man. I'm not gonna win any debates in the comment area. I'm the dreidel spinner. We know that. So I'm gonna take an automatic L in the comments. It is what it is. Okay. So let's keep it real. We're not be a dreidel spinner, but I married a virgin. What about you, my friend? Did your Christian values get you a virgin or someone who has ran through with kids? That's what the people here who are watching this debate need to think. Is his way of living better, or he has a woman who has kids from different men who he's raising, or is my way of life better? My kids actually do look like me, sir, because the fact of the matter is I would never marry an American whore. You did. I would never Just like Lenny Kravitz said, American woman, stay the hell away from me. This is why I married a Muslim woman, because Muslim women have low body counts. Your Christian women are, have more miles on it than the 1979 Mazda, bro. So you got to be real careful if you're going to go down this Christian route, because the Christian women, especially in the UK, America, all the Western will look like him. Yeah, you're better than me. In what fucking world, pal?
All right.
You concede?
Yeah. I guess unless Andrew got something that you want to go.
Yeah.
Then
So
respond.
Christianity is not about the embrace of materialism.
Of course.
The idea that you think that happiness comes from something as vacant as pure materialism actually shows why the epistemology that I hold is superior. You would have to admit that just because you have money, that does not make you happy or content. Leads to a purposeless life. For you, you say, even if, like you say, everybody walks away with your claims and says, you're right, this Andrew guy, this whole stepfather thing, this is bullshit. But the thing is like, just break it down logically. Let's say for a second I had no stepkids and married a virgin, let's just say. What would Gary's arguments then against me be? Nothing. His arguments would be nothing, because it would not prove numerology my worldview being false. It does nothing to advance the cause of what I'm actually saying or whether it's false or whether it's true. The reason that this is the attack vector is because Gary's stupid enough to believe that Christians are going to go, even though it's well within the purview of Christian ethics. There's not, like, the only thing you could say that I did wrong was that I took care of people who needed a father in their life. Like, what the fuck did I do wrong, Gary? What was so terrible? Three baby daddies. Divorce. Nah. Oi. But the thing is like, Gary, ultimately, it doesn't matter. You haven't disproven a single position that I have, right? And even if my entire personal life was a fucking mess and I was a broke alcoholic like you want everybody to believe, you still haven't disproven a single fucking claim I've made. Not one. And I've disproven multiple of yours. So ultimately, if you think that people are going to walk away with already public information that already this second, well, good luck, Gary. I don't know what it did for you, though. I don't know what it does for you.
Basically, proving someone's a fraud, proving that someone who goes on other podcasts and talks shit to women, calling other men cucks when he's a simp himself, taking care of other people's kids.
That's not what a cuck is, Gary.
Who you are, sir.
Like, do you know what a cuck is?
I called you a cuck. I said you're a simp.
Yeah, so what would be the problem with me calling? Then what would be the problem with me calling men cucks who are cucks, Gary?
Yourself, sir.
Yeah, I don't understand. If you call someone a cuck, that has meaning, right?
Not watching this. Joseph.
I don't ask him.
That biblical name.
I don't ask. Gary, do you think that people follow me because they want to model themselves after my personal life?
I would hope not.
No, they follow me because I make compelling and good arguments on behalf of a very coherent worldview and destroy leftist and scumbags and lunatics all over the internet like yourself and destroy their entire worldview, crush their epistemology, and prove exactly what they are. Of horrible things. It would not disprove any of my positions, Gary.
Well, you can laugh all you want, but I think the people are laughing at you.
Okay. Now I thought I wasn't a cuck a second ago. Now I am.
Let's talk about Christian women versus Muslim women versus Jewish women. Let's go down the road because let's see what kind of values these women have.
Before we do that, are you cool with that, Andrew? You want to go down and have a debate, I guess, on we're talking about like maybe the chastity of the different groups?
Sure.
Of course.
Do you want to?
Sure.
Right,
we can dive into it. Absolutely.
I'll start. One of the things I'm most proud of in life was I married a non-American woman because basically growing up in America, I seen what they are. They're ran through. I want nothing to do with these type of women. Okay. This is what I'm trying to tell you men out there. You want a foreign woman who doesn't have these values. But if America is a so-called Christian nation and the UK is a Christian nation and crosses and then have OnlyFans, we are to deduce that Christianity is either one, a failure, or two, leads women to become whores. One of the reasons I married a Muslim woman is not because I believe in Allah or their Quran or any nonsense like that. It's because I know that Muslim men have something called honor killings. I know that Muslim women have something they will protect a woman. It was always going to be a Muslim woman because to me, Andrew, maybe not to you, Joseph, but to me, a virgin was very important. I wanted to know I was the only one in there. Okay? Maybe that's not important to you. Maybe that's not important to the people who are watching this right now, but it was important to me. So at the end of the day, my friend, I couldn't pick a Christian woman because the Christian values is completely down the shithole. These women wear crosses and go on marry a Christian woman. Did virtue of a woman mean nothing to you, sir?
Yeah, so I'll respond to kind of all of this in
3 minutes
sequence.
on the clock for Andrew.
Yeah. So the first thing is like Gary's kind of right in some of this, but he's mostly wrong as usual. So I'll give him the granting of the things he's kind of right about. It is true that decadence has taken over most of the West, and there's all sorts of subversion inside of the West from a lot of this decadence. And there are a lot of people who use a self-identifier of Christian who are not Christian. Inside the purview of Christian ethics, we're not going to behead you and things like this for wearing a cross while you do your OnlyFans. And we never really had to, because we had the mechanism of public shame and public propaganda on our side in order to reduce these types of decadent behaviors from happening. This is exactly what myself and many others are fighting to move back towards. Now, it's actually secularism and the alternative to Christianity which started this, not Christianity. It was the secularists who wanted to make porn legal. It's the secularists who wanted to make feminism the staple. Embrace these values. This was a subversion which happened over about an 80 to 90 year period and is still going on to this day. And yes, it does need to be resisted. But when you're talking about Muslims, there's women who claim to be Muslims who are on OnlyFans. I don't know if you know this or not. I've debated with some of them right on Fresh and Fit. I don't know where you're getting this idea that this is only a Christian thing. This is regionally true even in Muslim nations. It just depends on the one that you're in. So some of what you say does have some validity and accuracy to it, but most of it actually doesn't have much validity and accuracy to it. And on top of all of that, if you think was chaste, not loyalty, not any of these the virtues are compounded. There's many, many different types of virtues which go into a person. It's not perfection. If it was perfection, your fat ass would have no virtues, because ultimately, all what you do, your whole worldview is designed around numerology. It's designed around taking materially from people and giving less value to them than you get. That is a complete materialistic and nihilistic worldview. And in the end, if you want to talk about karma, the karma that you'll get is self-imposed. Because of this, it's because it's ultimately just a void and empty lifestyle. When you talk about virtues, virtue is not a single thing. Is chastity a virtue? Sure, I agree with you. But was I chaste when I met my wife? No. So that wasn't even a virtue that I held, nor do I think it was probably a virtue you held when you met yours, Gary. So the thing is like, again, the only thing you seem to be able to tie any facts to is the already publicly released information that I married a woman who had Gary went better, Gary.
Right. We'll put 3 minutes back on the clock. Do you guys want to continue on this?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Let's get
And
started.
after we'll do a short break for super chats after this.
Okay.
Yeah, let me tell you, my friend, you're right. You know what? You're right. I am overweight. There's no doubt about it. I'm overweight. You know what's not overweight? My wife, like yours. So again, here's what it comes down to. As long as a man has money, this can be overlooked. A woman whore who has kids by another freaking man, and you're over here virtue signaling, brother.
Yes.
No one is looking at me and talking about, yo, he has bad karma, brother.
Yes.
The bad karma because you're taking care of kids who aren't your own. They're laughing at you.
How would that be bad karma, Gary?
Every single day, because it's your duty in life. It is your karma in life to take care of kids who aren't his own. There's nothing. Who aren't your own.
Yeah, what's the karma? Why would that be bad karma?
Why would that be bad karma?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Chat, you decide for yourself.
Can you answer my question, Gary? Why would that be bad karma?
Another person's kids. We're not built the same way.
Why
brother.
would that be bad karma, Gary? Can you answer my question?
You might be a better man than me.
Yes,
brother.
that's true. That's why I can virtue signal, because I am a better man than you.
Outstanding. And you continue to be a better man when you wake up in the morning and eat.
Out of the house now, Gary? Did you even know that? Do you know that I do have my own kids who live at home with me? Like, do you even know any of this stuff?
You actually fed kids that aren't yours.
So what?
Kids that
You
aren't
wouldn't
yours.
feed kids that weren't yours?
Sip. A woman used you for resources.
You wouldn't wait, Gary. Gary, can you answer my question?
literally
Are
a
you
sip.
saying, Gary? Are you saying you wouldn't feed kids that aren't yours?
Not like consistently. No.
Why not?
Because I don't do. I only feed my own kids.
Why wouldn't you? Can you answer my question, Gary? Without answer the fucking question, Gary. What's wrong with feeding kids that aren't yours, Gary?
I am not going to live my life taking care of other people's kids. You want to do that? Good for you.
Would you donate to Would you donate to charity? Would
that either?
Would you donate to charity where they feed kids, Gary?
Of course I have. But here's the point.
Yeah.
You taking care of kids by a woman who was ran through by one man, ran through by another man, and you're the sip who's fucking paying the bill.
Wow, she had a 3 body count. Wow, it's so high, Gary. Mine was mine was way out of control. Is like, dude, you did too. Great, you bought your chick from some fucking country. Great.
I can draw my own. I'll tell you what.
But Gary, can you just answer my question though?
We do DNA tests.
Yeah, can you just
and how many of those
yeah,
kids are
yeah.
mine?
Okay, Gary, can you just answer my question? What's wrong with feeding kids that aren't yours? What's wrong with that? Do you have any moral objection to it at all?
3 minutes, Andrew.
Do I have a moral objection to charity? No. Do I have a moral objection to feeding kids? Yes, I do.
What makes one of those bad and the other one not bad?
Very simply, because a woman is taking advantage of you and your resources because she was a whore or a slut, and basically has kids out of wedlock that someone didn't want to take care of. And guess what? There's always a simp like you who's going to take care of them. So congratulations,
Gary.
What a good Christian man
What
is.
am I doing that's immoral, Gary?
What are you doing that's immoral?
Yeah, how is that immoral? How is it immoral for me to take care of children that aren't mine, Gary?
Immoral? Probably not.
Yeah, it's that's how dumb your fucking position is. That at the end of it, after all the bloviating, after all the steam coming out your ears, you can't even say it's bad, Gary.
He's telling you, take care of other people's kids that aren't your own.
Yeah,
Don't
okay.
Be a man, be a simp.
So anyway, can I respond now, Myron? Can I respond to all this shit?
This is your time. I mean, you guys were kind of going.
Yeah.
back.
So anyway, so this is really simple, right? He can't even tell you why it's bad. That's one. And two, I don't recommend for most men. A very difficult thing, but I wouldn't chastise them either for doing it. It's not a moral conditional that you say you fell in love with a woman who has children. That there's no moral conditional saying that that's wrong. Now it's not any more. Gary, calm down. It's not any more moral than falling in love with a woman who doesn't. Right? But there's nothing that you could even say which is wrong, immoral, something like this about being a stepdad. The best you can do is cast aspersions and be like, oh, your wife's a whore. Oh my God, she's a whore. Based on what? Based on the fact that she was super loyal to 2 men? What? Like, what the fuck is that? That's not whorish behavior. It's the opposite. On top of that, Gary, even if I were to even grant it, you still couldn't even tell me why that was immoral. Because from your view, there is no immoral. There's just fucking numbers and shit and weird shit. So ultimately, it's like, you can make this attack over and over and over again. By the way, I predicted it before I ever went live. I have it right here on the notepad for the audience to see. This is the debate. This is all Gary wants to do. Why? Because you think that somehow it punishes me.
So what's the next topic? Did you guys want to go into more with the Christianity stuff, or
yeah?
What's the next one?
A quick break for chat.
Yeah, do the chat.
Piling up.
Go ahead. You got this.
And Andrew, start the next one.
Okay. You don't got the what? You don't got them ready?
Oh. All right. Well,
I mean, okay, that's fine.
next topic then.
Yeah, we'll go to the next topic.
Woman, bring me
next
down
topic,
some smokes.
What did you want to discuss?
Important for people who want to decide if they're going to be Christians, if they're going to be Muslims, what they're going to do in life. Because listen, here's what it comes down to, man. The nuclear.
Hold on. Are you okay with that, Andrew?
Sure.
the virtue of Christianity. Okay, and then you're gonna, I guess you're gonna kick
Yeah.
it off.
The nuclear family
Can you-
is absolutely broken. It's absolutely broken. And the thing is, when you look in the Muslim world, that nuclear family is not broken. The women are having 4, 5, 6. America and the UK, so-called Christian nations, the family unit is basically destroyed. We have a man here, and again, he's not the only one. He is 100% right about that. He's from broken homes. So basically, you have a woman who's came from a broken home, and you have a man who came from a broken home, and they came together to form a new union. The fact of the matter is this: that is not a real nuclear family. Once you have kids from that's a foster care center. Okay? That's what it is. And I'm going to tell you guys, listen, accidents happen, people die, circumstances happen. Yes, it is a good thing that those kids are being taken care of. But you know what is? What is also a good thing? When a man knows he's coming home and working for his own kids. To some men, that means everything. To some men, they basically want to get out and work as. Say this: I'm not Christian. They call me a Jew, but I don't practice Judaism. I've never kissed a wall. Don't let them lie to you. I'm not a Mossad agent. Whatever else they want to say. I am above all not just a numerologist, not just a millionaire, not someone who's connected. And by the way, he said that was a lie. By the way, you saw I was connected, correct?
That is correct.
So again, now you're questioning him as well. So at the end of the day, the number one thing I am is a father, is an absolute father. The number one thing is what I am. I have 2 kids. My kid's a valedictorian. I have a wife that she is still as gorgeous as the day I met her. So one thing I like to point out is, a lot of you guys marry women and then they have kids and they turn into fat slobs. Not me. I'm still showing her off all these years later. And guess what? If you're saying that doesn't matter, you're lying. I have a big bag. Yeah, I'm going to shout it from the top of my lungs because no one ever helped me. I did it in a capitalistic society like everyone else should. But I don't need Christianity, Judaism to do the right thing. I don't need them to say, oh, I'm not going to cheat on my wife. I don't need that stuff because I have enough morality of my own to know what is right and what is wrong. I don't need fear of a book that God is going to punish me. I already know what the real deal is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Andrew.
After assertion, no arguments, no nothing, right? I'm just going to assert. Why are you interrupting me, Gary? Didn't say a word the entire time you were speaking. So anyway, it's just assertion after assertion. He's not actually saying anything to you. Let's correct the record on a few things. Christian ethics isn't telling you, and Christianity isn't telling you, that you need to go marry a woman with children. It's not telling you need to marry a woman at all. It's not telling you which woman specifically you can have a preference for or not have a has children, you can marry her. That's okay. And Gary's, by his own admission, he says, is it a good thing those kids are taken care of? He says yes. He literally started this by saying that's a good thing. Now his moral claim has changed. Not only is it not a bad thing, but now it's a good thing. Now we've gotten into ought do because it's good. So Gary's own admission, not only am I not doing anything wrong, I'm doing something good. So that's it's really funny. And then he strawmans and characterizes Christianity as being sex. Christianity is not postulating that you must be a stepfather or step-parent. Many men have a preference not to do that. Who the fuck would ever tell them that was wrong or improper? They can have a preference for that. Also, he brings up Muslim nations and says that their birth rates are on the incline. They're not. They're on the massive decline. You should check Iran, for instance. Many Middle Eastern nations are on a massive decline. In fact, the only places really in the world where birth rates are increasing is in some parts of Africa. It is Muslim birth rates are in mass decline as well. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but also with Muslims, that is the case. So I just don't know what the hell he's talking about. You can go country by country by country, and this can be demonstrated pretty easily. So again, I don't know how this is a criticism of Christian ethics, wherein Christian ethics isn't saying that you must have a preference for any type of woman or ex-woman or whatever. Only that if she follows the same virtues and value structures that you do, you can marry her with the blessing of your priest and church. That's it. You should be a numerologist. You should follow his system. He's going to get you rich. You're going to be rich. You're not going to get rich. What you're going to do is you're going to pay for a bunch of bullshit cold readings, and you're going to lose your ass, like many people already have, and you're not going to make any fucking money. The only person who's going to make money in the transaction that you have with Gary is one person, and that's Gary. Now, you know what's really funny? Me as a political commentator, the only person who's ever going to make money at my political commentary is also me. But at least I'm fucking honest about that. To my audience than you fucking ever have in a million years. And on top of all of that, right, as if that wasn't bad enough, just try to remember this, that in this huge bill of sale that Gary's trying to kind of sell you, Andrew's a grifter, he's a this, he's evil, he's blah, blah, blah. Look at what he did with his wife, everything which is well within the purview of Christian ethics. Gary has not demonstrated any fraud on behalf of Andrew Wilson. He has not shown that I've ever taken a dime from anybody in an illicit or malicious manner or a malevolent manner. Not demonstrated any of that. And yet the cases of Gary doing this are fucking innumerable. The amount of people that claim that this guy has huckstered them, defrauded them, or caused problems for them is enormous. Where are those cases for me, Gary? Where are they? Where's my victims, Gary? Where are they?
Where are mine?
Would you? Well, we can get into.
Where are my victims? Like, you don't have haters on Twitter? So do I, bro.
Wait. Did
1,000 students? I would say 99.9.5% are very happy with my services. Yes, you're going to have people who are unhappy. I'm sure there's people you've ran into life that don't like you. So
yeah, none of them are saying that I defrauded them, Gary.
I mean, listen, people frauds will say anything they want. I'm sure you heard that. You know,
nobody's saying in a very long, illustrious career so far on the internet. And I've taken in a lot of cash on the internet, Gary. Not a single person has accused me of defrauding anybody.
I've taken millions and millions from people. You know what? How about this? We can do a certain thing. So I can show Fresh, and then he can tell you. How about that?
What does that do?
I'll show Fresh that I make millions, then he can say yes or no.
Yeah, but we can't. How do I verify that that's true?
How do I verify you have any kids that you're owed? What, we gonna take DNA test, bro?
All right.
You're hang on. You're the claimer here. You're claiming that you take in millions. Prove it. Let's see it.
100%, man. And I'll be more than happy to show Myron and Fresh.
Because there seems to be a very low list of people accusing me of defrauding them and a very high list of people who claim that you have defrauded them.
Your life is a fraud. You go on other people's podcasts, call people cucks when you're a simp yourself, taking care of.
Okay, cuck and simp. You can call me a simp, Gary, but you can't call me a cuck, and me calling someone a cuck isn't the same as calling them a simp, Gary.
Shit to other men when you're a simp yourself. That's what's hilarious.
What's the hypocrisy, Gary?
What's the hypocrisy?
Yeah.
Taking care of kids.
But that's not cuckery by your own admission, Gary. Ran through, Gary.
You couldn't do any better. I married a virgin. Let's get.
Why do you say what is better?
No virgin.
What is better?
Through woman.
What is better? Can your woman even speak English?
They want to be like you.
Can your woman even speak English?
So be it. You are a freaking fraud the way you live your life.
What? How do I live my life? That's fraudulent. How? I literally was on that show, and Myron asked me about all. Myron asked me about all of this, and I told him all of it. What's
out there?
Gary? Where's the fraud?
Woman as your wife.
Where's the fraud, Gary? Where's the grift? I was on that very program with Myron and with Fresh, explained all of this, everything you're currently talking about. I did it all live on air. Where's the fraud, fuckhead? Where?
It's very simple.
Where?
You don't go out there and call other men cucks when you're a simp. You're not.
Yeah, you can call men cucks who are engaged in cuckoldry.
Other men.
I'm sorry. Do I let other men purposely fuck my wife? No, that's a cock, dude. What are you talking about?
You actually. Because you're projecting what you want to say to your wife.
So you're a feminist now? That's the feminist critique. That's literally what every feminist critique of me is, Gary. Now you're a feminist?
I mean,
you're projecting, Andrew. You really wish you could just lay into your own wife, Andrew. Now you're a feminist, bro?
I'm never a feminist, but I'll tell you what, bro. I never would be stuck with the ran-through fat broad you have.
Oh, yeah, you're stuck with a Malaysian non-English speaking box order bride. Shut up, Gary. Nobody's buying your bullshit, Gary. That chick looks like she... What are you talking about? Why are you... hang on, Gary, why is it that you feel so justified in seeking attack?
Wait, I'm better than you. Baby, they say you can't speak English. Say hi to Andrew or say hi to Joseph.
Hi, Andrew. How are you?
I can barely understand what you're saying. Can you say it again?
Joseph, say hi to Andrew.
Hi, Joseph or Andrew.
Joseph? Who the fuck is Joseph?
Well, that's who you...
It doesn't sound like English to me.
I give you a Christian name that fits your values the most. So you will forever be called Joseph Wilson from now on.
Oh, no. You're going to name me after one of the finest patron saints of the Orthodox Church. Oh, my God. Yeah. Oh, my God. You're going to compare me to the Father of Jesus Christ. Holy shit, Gary. You're really dunking on me today, brother. Wow. You're really getting me with these zingers.
The Sip of the Year award goes to Joseph Wilson. Congratulations, sir.
We've made the point very clear. Your stances on
yeah, we're good.
Pat Trucker says, Shuttle Castle Club Premium made $10,668 in January because of the network and online fitness training. Shout out to you, bro. Good job. Saved $6,000 plus on my custom cabinets because of the CC Premium network. His name is Edwin C. from Chicago. Just joined the CEO network to see if I can add some value. 25 is starting off well. Price is king, by the way. I believe that as well. We have 12 people who put in deposits for the Chicago Tough Mudder Saturday, August 23rd. All Castle Club members are welcome. Excited to have Myron and Walt. Constantine the Great was a Roman emperor. He was fighting in the war and was outnumbered. He saw the cross in the sky when he was a pagan that he will win, so he ordered his soldiers to put the cross on their shields, and he won the war. He converted to Christianity at the time when Christians were persecuted, and no other reason to convert unless what he saw was real. Christianity is real. Okay? Rebel Overdose says, nice to meet you, Gary. What concrete evidence that you will have or prove that, or that I can search up that zodiac signs and numerology is real? I hope someone to
astrology, numerology, there's certain numbers that are more compatible with others, certain signs that are more compatible with others. That's why I picked, I'm born in the snake year. My wife is born in the rooster year. Those are the two most compatible signs. We're married 20 years, no issues. So basically, if you go by the system, you're not going to have a 50-60% divorce rate like these Christians do.
Yeah, well, here's the actual system, just so you know its roots. It was developed, at least by legend, by some emperor who had a bunch of animals race each other, and then the position they came in, they assigned them to a star sign. It's completely arbitrary. Counterfactual. Anytime Gary is asked to present real evidence on behalf of his worldview, he always claims it's math. You'd think there'd be mathematical formulas all over the place to prove this, but he never has any. He just shows you these really, really tiny data sets that he comes up with, which just affirm his belief, and the second they're questioned, they fall apart.
Okay. What's next?
What next?
Junebug. Gary, she's old as fuck. This isn't a W.
like most of these Americans are.
All right.
Well, you guys have also been married for 20 years.
Yeah.
Like you met her when she was 20, right?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Now.
So
Yeah, that is time for you. Junebug says, Gatti, I think it's Gary, stop having this old lady massage you. You're not Andrew Tate.
I don't have my shirt off either. So no, I'm definitely not Andrew Tate. I didn't pimp women to get money. So no, I'm definitely not Andrew Tate.
Patman number 1. Andrew, I'm in the UK. I will not get a single mom, but in my day, it's different.
Again, like even to the casual observer who understands that life is not simplified, it's complex, and that each individual situation for each individual person is a different set. It's a different set of circumstances. When we discuss optimals, we can say things are optimal, and that is true that a thing is optimal. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, but also saying at the same time, there can be cases of nuance where you can make the most out of a bad situation, or you can make mistakes, recover from them. There's all sorts of different individual circumstances. Gary himself, remember, admitted it's good to take care of kids like this. It's good. He says a declaration of affirmation towards the moral prism of Christian ethics. More proof from my worldview is more coherent than his.
Would you want your child to get married to a single mother with kids?
I think that generally wouldn't be optimal, no.
Okay, well, there you go. At least you're being honest. So you're.
When have I had never? When has that never been not been my position, Gary?
Follow your footsteps is what you're telling.
When I also tell them not to smoke, Gary. Gary,
I mean,
do you tell your 12-year-old to smoke a blunt with you, Gary? Do you tell your 12-year-old to smoke a blunt with you, Gary? Do you tell your 12-year-old to smoke a blunt with you?
Not until he's 18.
I don't understand, though, Gary. You fucking hypocrite. Why can't he smoke it when he's 12? Why not, Gary?
Mine's not developed enough.
What do you mean? It's developed enough for 18? So
yeah, I would say
at
so.
17 and a half, is it developed enough?
Probably, maybe. Depends.
16 and a half, Gary? It's just fucking arbitrary, these metrics, right? It's or you probably would have no actual argument against doing that since you love Muslims so much, Gary.
Well, actually, there's a lot of Christians who actually marry 12-year-olds too in the 1300s.
Oh yeah, for state unions, not because their prophet married one, not because their prophet married one, Gary.
We can move on with this, bro.
Sir. At the end of the day, let's face facts, man. I've been married for 20 years to one woman. My kids look like me. You have been married to a woman who. When I asked you,
she gave me kids. You fucking lunatic retard. You dumb fuck.
To live the life you live, you said no. So basically, by your own mission, you're a failure.
That's not a failure for me to point out. Like, if I had been in a car accident and I advocate that other people don't get in a car accident, this means I'm a failure?
You're comparing car accidents?
Yeah, I'm just showing you the extension of how stupid your logic is. Very stupid. So home by Gary's logic, if for any reason you say, that really wasn't optimal, then that means you're some kind of fucking hypocrite. Like it makes no sense whatsoever what he's saying. And also, he can't have it both ways. You can't say it's good what you're doing, Andrew, but also it's bad. You're not adhering to the very virtues in Gary. I just let you talk, Gary. Let me finish, Gary. Calm down, Gary. Calm down, Gary. You can't say it's good and then at the same time say Andrew doesn't adhere to his own virtues. It's always been up front, right? I'm not a fucking red pillar. Do you think I give a shit? Do you think I give a flying fuck if some fucking retard is like, oh, your wife, oh my God, your wife. They have no arguments, Gary, so I don't care.
Tell people that you're a simp. Stop. Put down the cigarette.
What's a simp?
Do not be like me. Do not take care of single mothers because I'm going to be the guy who takes care of other people's kids. They actually ran through her.
So every man step. Gary, every man's stepfather is a simp, Gary.
If they're taking care of other people.
So every man's stepfather is a simp. That's Gary.
They're taking care of other people.
Do you have any?
SIP.
Yeah, so any of the people who are enrolled in your class right this second who have stepfathers, their stepfather is a simp, and you're saying that their mother has mediocre pussy. Is that correct, Gary?
I mean, you said the second part yourself, but yes, they are a simp.
Yeah, well, what does simp mean? Suckers idolizing mediocre pussy. So therefore, if it is the case that all of you affirmatively say that anybody who takes your course who has a stepfather, that their stepfather is a simp meaning sucker idolizing mediocre pussy, which means that their mothers have mediocre pussy. Gary, can you just be at least honest and say any of your customers?
No exceptions to the rules.
Yeah,
sir.
including your customers.
That's what you are.
Okay, got it.
No, I actually ask people before they join my classes in an interview.
Mm-hmm.
Are you a baby daddy? Are you a baby mama?
No hope for those people.
Of course not.
They're just worthless scum, even though you say it's good that they're taken care of. You just contradict yourself every 5 seconds, Gary.
Listen. It comes down to this, man.
What does it come
You
down
need
to?
people clean the toilet, but it's not going to be me. You understand?
Uh-huh.
You need people to go in and get all the shit stains.
Yeah, what we need is more materialism, Gary.
Society. Those people are
Gary, if we only had more materialism, that would solve the problem.
It's not going to be me.
Gary,
So that guy.
Gary, can you just say if we had more materialism, life would be better?
It's the most important thing I have. My kids are the most important thing I have. But money actually means something.
Yeah. So wait, you're not wait. So let me ask you a question.
Congratulations, sir.
So
Well done.
I just want to make sure I got this right. If you died, right? If you died, you would not want your wife to remarry, and you would not want your kids to have a father role model in their life.
If I die,
Uh-huh.
my wife has enough money.
If she didn't. Yeah, if she didn't. Yeah, but if she didn't, Gary.
No, it's not no ifs. I'm a
You
man.
know ifs. You can't answer the question, can you, Gary? If you didn't,
All over the world.
Gary, if
You're
you
a
didn't,
simp.
Gary, if you
There's no
didn't,
if.
Gary,
There's
can
no
you answer my question, Gary? Gary,
There's no
stop spurging,
hypothetical
Gary. Just
that.
answer the question, Gary.
There's no
If
hypothetical.
it were the case that you did not have enough money for her to live forevermore, or let's just say the government came in and took it all away for some reason because they just didn't like your face, that could happen,
Like
right?
Elon Musk
Would you
said.
say then that your wife shouldn't remarry and that your kids should not have a positive stepfather in their life? Would you say that?
I would say that my brother would come in and he would basically.
Is he going to marry her? Out.
Let's put that.
If
down.
your wife got remarried, your kids would have step parents, right?
Father role, but you're giving me hypotheticals. These are
Yeah,
strong-
exactly. You would want that. Exactly.
The matter is, if I die today,
Yeah.
my wife and my kids are taken care of for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, so what?
You
Great.
die-
You're one of the few people in the whole world that's in that position. Good job, Gary.
die today, are your wife and kids taken care of?
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They are. But I also would not want my wife, if I died tomorrow, I would not want my wife to live the rest of her life lonely, and she would not want me to live the rest of my life lonely either. Gary, calm down.
6 months. bro.
Gary,
All right.
Gary, calm down. Gary, calm down, Gary. So anyway, the point is that you would want the same thing by your own admission. Just now, you just said, yes, of course I'd want them to have that. And it's like, well, then essentially what you're saying, all you do, dude, all you do is contradict yourself. Every fucking view you have is self-contradictory, Gary. It makes no sense.
And again, at the end of the day, I want you, the people who are watching this, to
Mhm.
decide, how do you want to live? Do you want to live like a guy like this who can't? Do you want to live like a man who takes care of other people's kids? Do you want to live with a woman who's not only fat but ran through? Is this what you want? And if it is, Andrew Wilson is for you.
Yeah.
But if you actually want someone,
If you want to be a lying, grifting piece of shit like Gary who can't prove numerology, his entire system falls apart, he's a known fraud, that's the way to go.
He talks to people who are billionaires. Unlike
You know, he
Andrew,
doesn't talk to any billionaires. He doesn't know any fucking billionaires.
and you have to understand, numbers do not lie.
Yeah, just Gary lies. Over and over and over, and on top of that, I've disproven his numerological bullshit a million times.
I didn't get the.
Why do you think the guy filibusters the entire time? He just filibusters. He doesn't even want the opposition to talk. No matter how much you let Gary talk, Gary will never let you talk. because Gary's always terrified of what the truth is. He thought coming into this debate this would be some major dunk, this already publicly known by everybody information. You really got me, Gary. That really did me in, Gary.
Sip. Do you understand? Look at you. Look in the mirror. Look at your wife.
Look at you. You're a pile of fucking dog shit, Gary. You're a pile of fucking dog shit, and you're the most laughed at man on the internet, Gary. Yeah, I'm sorry that, yes, it is true that if you follow Christian ethics, you will be a moral man. That's true, and you're garbage, Gary. You're a trash bag.
I'm a numerologist. You're a simp. Say you're.
No, you're not a numerologist. You're a con artist.
You put 1,000 down, I put 1,000 down, and we see where this takes us. I mean, we can do that.
Yeah, but can we actually use a real experiment where half of them are rigged and half of them aren't, so that we can determine which of your actual readings are not tailored via cold reading?
Why does it always have to be rigged, bro? Why is it always?
Because that's how you do an experiment for proof.
Lie. Why do people have to?
That's not a lie.
You bring people to me.
That wouldn't be a lie.
Their birthday, and I read them like a book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was on a date and called Gary, got her birth date, and he read it like a book.
Great. Yeah, he's an excellent cold reader. Most con artists are.
Yeah. Okay. Did I see what she looked like?
No.
No. There you go.
You don't need to see what a person looks like if you're a cold reader.
They look like.
It's just basic cold reading. So the thing is like the reason Gary won't do a controlled experiment is because if he did a controlled experiment, he'd be found to be a fraud. That's why.
How much money do you want to put on it?
On a controlled experiment? Whatever. $100,000 controlled experiment, as long as that is put in an account which Myron Gaines can pay out.
100%. I'm good.
As long as that's the case.
So we're going to do this. You're going to come to Miami because no one wants to go to that shithole that you live in. You're going to come down to Miami. We're going to put random people here, and then I'm going to read them like a book.
No, that's not the controlled experiment. I'll give you the parameters for the controlled experiment.
You know more than the people I'm going to read.
So I'm going to give you the parameters for the controlled experiment. And these are the same type of parameters you would find from the Skeptic Society. So what we would do is half of them would purposely give you false information. And what they would do is before they ever went in that room, they would write out all of the true information that they had and see if based on your reading, right, that compared to the true information that they were giving behind the scene versus the false. If it compares up to the true information, you're cold reading. That's the experiment.
So if I say someone had a bad year in 1996 and that person agrees that was one of the worst years of their life, that's not.
Well, we wouldn't allow vague questions like that. We'd make them much more precise.
That's vague to you. That's pretty specific.
No, that's very vague. Bad.
Any year, I point.
What is it? Does that mean like I broke my foot? That's a bad year? Or does that mean I lost everything and that's a bad year? That's very vague, Gary.
I basically messed up my Achilles last year. That was horrible.
Yeah, but for some people that would be a bad year. For some people it wouldn't be a bad year.
I mean, listen, people can go back and they can put in Dwight Howard, numerology.
I've
been on the news.
If you make predictions every single day, some of them will come true.
People can Google this. I've been on the news, and I called the biggest comeback in NBA history when the Cavs were down 3-1 to the Golden State Warriors. I said they would come back. That was never done.
Yeah, how many years ago?
4.
How many years ago was that?
That was 10.
Yeah, 10 years ago, exactly. So the thing is like you don't have Gary, you also called the wrong president multiple times, didn't you?
No, I basically said Trump would win.
No. Before that, you said that Trump wouldn't even be the nominee. So it's like the wrong ones you just kind of omit, right?
I also said Joe Biden would step down. So, and he did. So I was right about quite a lot, my friend. Now,
you were wrong about way more than you were right about.
I am only a human being. The practitioner makes mistakes.
Who is mostly wrong. Yes, you're a human being who makes mostly wrong predictions. I agree with that.
I'm mostly wrong, and that's why I said a plane crash would crash on the 29th, and it happened 2 days later.
Oh, wow. If you continuously make that date for 10 fucking years, it's going to eventually, Gary, if you make the same prediction for 10 years, the likelihood that one of them happens is very high, Gary. Do you understand that? That the likelihood that if you make the same prediction for 10 fucking years, that the likelihood that it will happen eventually is high?
2 days ago, sir.
Yeah, after doing it for 10 years.
Yeah, remember, when it was 10 years, that was enough evidence. Then I did 2 days ago, not enough
No,
evidence.
that proves my case.
Moving. The goal.
No, that proves my case, Gary. It proves my case.
You are absolutely.
If you make this...
Because the next time we do
You aren't going to take any money, Gary. You're going to lose. You're not even going to do it anyway. You won't do it because you'll be found out. You'll never agree to a controlled experiment. I can literally get the... Gary,
You know what?
how about... I'll do one even better.
We can up the stakes.
Yeah.
Not only $100,000, the loser deletes his YouTube account.
Yeah, okay. Will you agree then to... Will you agree then to... Will you agree then...
I got a
Bro,
$250,000. How
bro,
many do you-
calm down. Will you agree then to allow the Skeptic Society to stop for 10 seconds so that we can at least have agreement? If you just filibuster, Gary, we can't come to agreement.
30 people.
You're just filibustering, bro.
You won't decide. I won't decide. The people I'm reading will decide.
Yeah, yeah, okay. No, that's not a controlled experiment, Gary.
Running, bro. Keep
That's
running.
not a controlled experiment.
Find another kid to take care
So
of.
anyway, the Skeptic Society, who has been finding out frauds for years and years and years, if we could agree to have the Skeptic Society run a controlled experiment, which you pre-agree to, we'll put all the terms out publicly, to test whether or not your numerology is correct or incorrect, I have to do is show up, and then on top of that, Gary, here's what we'll do on top of that. If I lose, I'll delete my YouTube channel and give you $100,000.
Okay, so
That's pretty fair.
So I'll take a look at your Skeptic Society and see what their parameters are. I'm not going to agree to anything without any.
That's
parameters.
right, because you're a known fraud. That's why.
No, I need to know what the rules are before I start playing the game.
It's just going to be a controlled experiment, Gary.
Oh, I mean, listen, I need to know the parameters. I don't actually sign things without reading them.
Yeah,
first.
of course. Of course you can read it. I'm just letting you know that
I'm more than willing to take your money.
you know how many psychics have said the same exact thing?
I'm not psychic. I never claimed to be psychic.
It doesn't matter. A con artist, a con artist. You get found out quick.
Oh, okay.
All right. So I think this was definitely a heated debate. Both sides had good talking points. And I respect you both individually as men. You guys both speak very well about your topics. And listen, at the end of the day, this is a great back and forth. I think you made your point, Gary, also as well, Andrew. What I will do is close this out with the last thoughts on this debate. Gary, you go first, and Andrew.
Married a woman who's ran through, who has different kids by different men. So again, I'm feeling really good about myself. I'm feeling really good about the fact that I have kids that are basically mine. And Andrew over here, no matter what he tells you, he can't prove anything. He's a freaking simp. And if this is the way you want to live your life, then Joseph Wilson is for you. I close.
Okay, and then I'll close with this. I'll just say very simply that not only did I once again disprove So let us remember that the only thing that this guy could bring to the table was an attempt to assault my character based around the idea that he thinks a red pill community is going to rally around a known con artist when they've been trying to move them out as much as possible. Regardless of what you think about my personal life, which is fine to think whatever you want, I am consistent in my worldview. There's nothing I'm saying which is incorrect, which is why Gary had no arguments against me whatsoever, especially not with Christian virtues. He even said what I'm doing is good. On top of all of that, just try to notate that Christians don't make an ought that you must marry single mom or you must not marry single mom, right? That each circumstance is different based on the virtues of the man and the woman who are practicing the religion, who are trying to come to the fruition of a family. So what Gary will say is there's Gary's way, the con artist numerology way, and then there's Andrew Wilson way, which is the rejection of materialism and the movement towards something which is fulfilling. That can have many roads in a pluralistic religion that understands there's many pathways to achieve those. Have children who are going to be very happy men for the rest of their life. Is it optimal? For most men, no. Would I ever say it was? Of course not. Have I ever? No. Hasn't. And so what Gary does is he tries to do yet another con where he says, Andrew Wilson is trying to tell you this is the path. No, when? I don't ever do that. It's all just made up. And the reason he makes it up is because that's the only way to attack me. How else can a con artist do it? Where's my victims? Gary can't provide any. Screwed them. They're nowhere because it doesn't happen. But it does happen with Gary. And so all he's left with is to try to convince you that I'm a man of low character, even though I'm the only one here with a consistent position, which he even agrees is good. And with that, I'll close.
Yeah, it's good to clean toilets. Someone has to clean toilets. Ain't gonna be me. So again, is it good to take care of kids who are basically being raised by single mothers? Yes, it's great. But I'm not gonna be the one to do it. Maybe you want to be there. Go ahead.
This was the last thoughts on each member's take here. Listen, guys, below who won this debate, down in the comments.
Not the Jew.
I
Never the Jew is going to win the debate.
It was very heated. We got a lot of views today. Shout out to everyone for supporting. Go follow Gary on his socials. What are your socials?
Matrix Prime on IG, GG33 Academy on TikTok, and
where can they find you as well?
Yeah, you can find me over on The Crucible. I'm the host of The Crucible. That's another place you can find me is at PaleoChristCon on Twitter, and you'll see many great debates that I do in the past and in the future. We have a lot of great stuff coming up, and with that, that's really all I have to say. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, after hours coming up right now as we end the show. Thanks for watching, and peace.
Let's see what numerologist Andrew predicted here. From my predictions. Gary's argument, virgin birth, talking donkey, additional gibberish. Step 2, attack Andrew personal life. Step 3, repeat. Well, I would say my soothsaying abilities are extremely good. That I was able to call that debate perfectly. They don't have anything else. What else can they attack me with? Attack me with, oh, you married a woman with children, like 15 years ago or whatever. 14 years, whatever the fuck it is. Right? Oh my God. You tried to hide this thing that you were completely upfront about that has nothing to do with anything. Anyway. Speakeasy sends in 50 Canadian dollars. I have 3 kids and married a woman with 4. Tell me how immoral I am. Yeah, it's a fucking wild, these people. I knew right from the beginning how this would go. And here's why. One of Gary's many tactics, as I've noted, going back through his history, is that he's the type of person who predicts a fire and then goes and sets the fire so that his prediction comes true. You'll see that he does this with other people too. Such and such is going to have a bad year, and then he goes and mass flags their channel and mass reports them and things like this, trying to give them the very bad year that he then predicted. That's things or attempt to do horrible things to people, and then he'll make the pre-prediction horrible things will happen to them. This is actually very, very common inside of this ethos. So, in any case, the best thing to do for those people is to let them spurg and contradict themselves. There's no real reason for me to get into a spurg fest with them or get angry or anything else, because that's what the entire tactic was. You saw at the beginning, there was a setup there, right? Okay. Which means that they were in on we're going to try to mercilessly attack Andrew on this, right? So there was a setup involved there. And so that was the goal. The goal was to try to kind of ruthlessly disparage my character based around this thing, which actually proves my ethical system is something I hold to, which is kind of irony. But that's the way these things go. That was a bit unexpected. That I did not expect, but now we know. Anyway, from all of us here at the Crucible to all of you out there in Crucible land, I hope you guys enjoyed that nonsensical debate. And it was very kind for you guys to come out and show all the great support to this channel. I don't know who's live right now, but Mr. Enigmatic set up a raid somewhere. I have a dinner to go eat, and I'm honestly just still fucking hungover and tired, so. Still completely demolished this idiot. By the way, we actually do have the data for every commercial plane crash since 1919, 1,700 data points, and no, those dates are incorrect. Those dates are incorrect, so I'll publish that too. But anyway, another one bites the dust. Fuck these people. From all of us here at the Crucible to all of I hope all of you have a wonderful night. Oh wait, I'm just checking to see where the raid's going here. Oh, I know where to send you guys. I got it right here. I hope you have a wonderful night.